All right, let's get into it. It has been 623 years since the Great Sacrifice, where the creator of the multiverse, Almadun, willingly gave his life, rescuing civilization from the subjection of El Terrell, the fallen elf. The sacrifice caused Almadun's celestial body to explode in an apotheosis of divine light, creating the planes, the above, the below, and the trance, along with shattering time itself, freezing on all non-deities on Erenel in a time lapse that would last for eons. Centuries of advancement, powerful artifacts, and sprawling kingdoms would fade away. Eventually, the time lapse would cease, and the races of Erenel opened their eyes for what felt like the first time. Inhabitants of Erenel, left with no prior memories, now inherit a new world to discover. Our adventure takes place far north on the western continent of Tanarian. Welcome to the Nevermore Expanse, home of the forgotten kingdom of Nephistrad. In Nephistrad, noble Sanguis houses rule openly with decadence, proudly worshipping dark deities and the unclean. Here, the living are a commodity, with many civilians going about their daily lives quietly to not draw attention to themselves. The chains of fealty are tightly held by the vampire lord Harlock von Lishken from the capital city of Razmiran. The Nevermore Expanse is cloaked in protective fog, hiding it from the outside world. Only suffering and despair will be harvested from this condemned place. All glory is in her wretched name, the Crimson Cupbearer, the Scarlet Walker. Let me pop out some handouts for you guys. Nevermore Expanse, where the journey takes place. We begin this journey with Yuska and Ikanik. Did I say that right? Yeah! I said it right, yes! Your journey through the Nephistrad kingdom has been relatively safe and mercifully uneventful thus far. The road has drifted across rolling hills and heath that make up the landscape of this province. Every so often, a quiet farmland will show itself. Some are inhabited, others are abandoned. A few days ago, you passed the imposing Raven's Roost, a mountain range that rests to the southwest of Vaci, your destination. Your journey now continues along a winding dirt path dotted by pine trees in the hazy fog that forever looms overhead. The sky is a warm orangish red, with dark clouds that cover the setting sun. Night approaches. Luckily up ahead, you see the dilapidated remnants of a small chapel resting on the side of the road, alone. This chapel's roof is somewhat collapsed, and the wood and stone foundations are covered in dirt and vegetation. Just for reference, this is also the 8th of Evenanth, which is fall. First month of fall. I know Sylvie's lagging.
I think he dropped out.
Oh, yeah, his mic or his pictures froze.
Yeah, his pictures froze.
Okay. Well, then, just for reference, I'll bring up a couple quick things while he's coming back. This is where you are currently, approaching Vaci as you passed Raven's Roost.
I'm still here. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Your
videos just
your videos froze.
I think all things considered, it's a pretty good.
It's probably the best picture it could freeze on.
You're also out of Roll20 as well.
No, he's in there.
Oh, I got him.
That's
No, he is
Silas and
not.
Sylvia are gonna
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah,
God.
Who and who?
I'm Cartman.
I still have Raz's picture
Yeah,
up. I'll
pretty
have
much
to
everything's
fix that.
frozen for me right now. I'm not sure why.
That's okay. So you are Yuska and Ikanik. You're walking down this dirt road as night approaches. The only shelter nearby is this abandoned, dilapidated chapel.
Do you think anyone's inside?
Can I take a quick look around to see if it is actually abandoned? Like if there's any signs of...
Yeah, give me a perception. 19. Oh, how you feeling that 19?
Oh, it's...
Oh,
If we survive long enough, it's gonna get stupid real quick.
Well, +5. Oh.
So as you look around, behind you is the rolling dark hills and the sun slowly setting to your west. In front of you, looking at the church, a couple crows nest overhead and flutter off. And as you look around, it's covered in a heavy dust and cobwebs, and then the dirt in front of the front wooden door of this chapel is closed, but you don't see any kind of markings in front of the door that would say otherwise. Parts of the chapel, the stonework has been destroyed and has caved in. There's no light on the inside, but nothing jumps out at you inside the chapel. You'll hear no sounds that would give you pause.
Okay. Yuska will set Ikanik down, assuming that she is riding on his shoulder. And I'll just pat her on the head, and I'll walk towards over here and just check it out.
She will follow.
After I pat you on the head, I'll motion, because he's not saying anything, for you to just wait.
She follows slowly.
The wooden, it's a...
Came a video chat.
Yep, it's working. The wooden doors in front of you are closed. The left hinge is a little offset, so it's kind of hanging a bit, but it looks unmoved. But to your right, part of this dilapidated church looks like it's destroyed, and it's fallen into the church. It's about a 6-foot gap.
Okay. I will walk over and peer inside.
Where are you going? Did you see something? Yuska?
What do I see inside? Does it just look abandoned?
So as you peer inside, and as you get closer with your perception, you can see on the ground in front of you, the grass has been matted from what looks to be heavy footfalls. It looks to be one person walking. Either he's very heavy or he's carrying something very heavy, as the indents are quite deep and they look somewhat fresh. As you peer inside, this chapel looks to have been abandoned for quite some time, and besides the normal cobwebs and heavy dust and the slow wind that kind of whips behind you, nothing else gives you pause.
No, I would say Yuska's gonna close his eyes, but he's got his little slants. He's just thinking for a second.
Yuska, what do you see?
Come over, little buddy.
Yeah, it's over.
A part of me says we should check this out.
But why? Did you see something? Is someone in there?
Somebody might be in here.
Do you think they need our help?
Well, we will find out if they are here. And I'll just step inside.
Okay.
Where are
Just
we going
carefully.
Are we gonna sleep in here?
We will find out soon.
I mean, we've never really stayed in a building like this before. I'm okay with the trees.
And
Before going in, Ikanik would
I'll
examine
give him
like
about
behind them.
there and just look around.
Okay. So as you walk a little deeper in this corridor, you get the sense that in the center here there used to be some type of vegetation, like a tree of some sort that has been decayed and removed. This has been quite some time. To your left, you can see some pewters and destroyed areas of the chapel. To your northeast, as you walk in, you can see a trapdoor is laid into the ground, made of wood, and there's a small ring on the top of it. and the footfalls that you saw before move towards this trapdoor.
I'll take a step towards Ekanik. Can you look, and I'll point over here. Can you take a look around, and see what's in the main part of this chapel? I'm going to take care of something real quick.
Yeah. What's the code word when we see something?
Yeah. Shout if you see anything. And Yusuke will reach into his pouch that he has on him. Pull out some seeds from, whatever vegetation he's found, preferably a tree seed, and he'll dig a small little hole to plant it.
Sure.
Do we just say anything, or do you have something else that we should shout out, like or like over here?
Just call my name.
Okay, I got that. Okay, let's go.
So while this is happening, Sylvia and Silas, the both of you in the under part of this chapel, as you hide for the night, you hear strange voices coming from above you, from the direction that you came. As you guys have entered this chapel earlier in the day to take refuge on your journey to Nova Vaci, the two of you, and I'll pop you up as soon as I get it. The two of you are underground under this chapel, and you hear footfalls, heavy footfalls above you, and then you hear some like really high-pitched but cheerful voice. It's hard to make out what it says.
Silas, did you hear that?
What would be in here?
I don't know. I thought this place was abandoned.
As did I.
Should we go check it out?
Perhaps we should just keep watch.
Alrighty. I'll watch this way. You watch the other way.
Okay. So back up top. Yusuke and Ikanik.
Ekanik would hop over, pulling out her short bow, examining the room.
So from this point of view, you can see the front door, which is closed, and it is a wooden door closed, and there's a latch behind it, like a fall down latch. As you step deeper into here, more of this cathedral opens up. The chapel opens up above you. Part of the roof has collapsed, caved in. On the walls around you, there is what was once stained glass, which is now broken and lies shattered across the ground. There is some very mildew covered and molded tapestries on the sides. There's one tapestry that hangs above this little cathedral up here. That's still somewhat legible, but it's covered in muck and grime, so it's hard to read from your perspective. And there's an ornate stone slab table, which sits above everything else, almost like an offering table.
Ekanik would stealth her way between each pew, just little U shapes, and then scurry up.
As you make your way up, behind you, you hear, and you see a couple rats rush across the ground behind you.
She points her short bow at them as they scurry, and then she withdraws.
The tapestry on the wall from this point of view is like a dark forest green. And as you get a little bit closer, you can make out what it says, and it's like a long, almost like a biblical verse on the parchment, or on the tapestry.
I see here, when I think I will die from drink, not when I show caution and temperance. As if any mother fruit wine is like blood to the mother of men. It nourishes their children, and we do her a disservice when we do not drink to our fill and beyond. There is a line drawn by society. She wants us to cross it. You honor her when you do so. If they tell you it is wrong, it is right. Take but secretly, until we have the strength to overcome not being the first.
If you ever want to find handouts, they're under campaign handouts in the journal tab.
She said that all out loud.
Down below, Sylvia and Silas, you can hear someone speaking loudly, but you can't make out what they say.
I'm assuming with my perception, I probably heard her.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
It seems like they're talking more. Should we go up and check what's going on?
If you like, we could.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the ladder and just peer my head through the trapdoor.
Okay.
To see if I can see anything.
Give me a stealth roll when you do it.
Yep.
$25. Nice. First crit of the game. Let's go. As you peek your head up, slowly rising with this trapdoor, and you remember from the first time you pulled it that it had a slight squeak to it, so you know just how far to go before it squeaks. And you see this large Ursus bear is digging into the ground with his back to you, planting something in the ground.
Silas, do you know Thieves' Cant by any chance?
What was that?
Do you know Thieves' Cant?
You broke up on me again.
Oh, sorry. Do you have Thieves' Cant? Do you know Thieves' Cant?
It's a language.
No? Okay. I'm gonna whisper to Silas. There's some sort of bear person. That's all I can see right now. Their back is to me. Do you want me to engage?
Why would a bear person be in this area?
Would you like to describe yourself, Yuska?
Yeah, so I guess kneeling down, you'd still probably be like 5 feet tall, roughly. His coat's pure white. I mean, if my back is to you, you would see like a long white robe, some blue lining on the side. You would probably see a staff which would have like sort of like very vibrant like vision of nature on the top. Other than that, pretty much just like maybe a shield, a couple little pouches on him. Really nothing of note.
I don't know why a bear person would be here. Should I go up behind him, see if I can get a surprise on him?
I don't know if you want to startle a nurse.
That's fair. Should we wait and see if they come down here and ambush them?
I believe we can hide enough down here to see what they want before we make our presence known.
Okay. That works with me.
Alright. About this time, Yuska, you to finish planting your seed.
He'll pat the ground, and then Sylvan, he'll just say, grow well, child. And then walk inside and see what Ikanik is doing.
Cool. So as you walk in, you can see the tapestry. You can see her looking up at the tapestry.
Shrugs her shoulders. And then she starts examining the table that is in front of the tapestry.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Yuska.
The table in front of you it's made of stone. It's like a pure stone block. There's a lot of hard, grimed blood and muck that you can see has been on the top of it. Although it's been some time since anything has been placed on it. It's almost like the top of this slab is almost just pure red from use over the years. But besides that, it's just a hard, pure slab with cracks in it.
How tall is it?
To you, it would be about halfway up your big 2 feet tall, so almost halfway up you. So you're kind of looking over.
Almost, yeah. She'd like lift up one of her wings and like drag her feathers across it.
It's there's it's kind of broken, so as you rush across it, there's no liquid that comes off it, but you can feel the hard, I guess like a sandy texture from the stone.
Well, I don't think there's anything in here.
Yusuke will just smile and he'll go check out over here.
Sure. So you step into this room. There's what looks to be the makeshift of what once a table, but the table is now very rotted and grime and has fallen. There's a small bookcase on the side that has been wide open and has fallen, and there's a very old, like bed sheet laying in the ground, which is also very moldy and has like a small bulge in the center of it.
Well, if there's anybody here, they would be down the trapdoor.
Do you think someone put him down there? Are they trapped down in the trapdoor?
Well, I'm not too comfortable staying inside a building like this, but we can go check it out to see if they need some help.
But I don't hear anybody. What if no one's here?
Well, I mean, can just continue on.
Yusuke,
It is getting pretty late.
Make perception checks for me.
These are some high rolls.
Both of us or just Yusuke?
Both of you. Per character. So you see Yusuke's ears kind of twitch and turn, kind of in the direction where you guys once came. So outside the road, kind of like in this area.
And just keep watching his ears.
His ears perk, and Yusuke, what you hear is it's a cascading sound somewhat far away, but since you have such high perception, you're able to pick it up. It sounds like growls or snarls of some kind. This seems a little ways off, but you're able to pick it up, and it sounds like it's moving in your direction.
Well, little buddy, I think the trapdoor might be our best option. And his eyes will open up just a little bit, which Eek would recognize that as being like either danger or he's starting to get mad.
Okay. She'd like reach up just a little bit as like shoulder time.
I'll pick her up. And we'll make our way towards the trapdoor.
Okay.
Do we hear them approaching the trapdoor?
Yeah, you see the footfalls, and above it you can see every time Yusuke steps, a little bit of dust falls off the ceiling. You can almost monitor where he's walking by the dust falls above him.
As they get closer, I'm going to pull out my short bow.
Okay.
I'll do the same with my crossbow.
Yusuke, the trapdoor is closed as before, but you can see some of the dust has been pushed away from it.
I'll set Eek and Eek down, and I'll just motion like... And then on the other side, I will slowly open the trapdoor.
Okay.
Eek prepares her short bow.
The trapdoor.
If she sees movement, she shoots.
Okay. The trapdoor slowly opens. As it does, Eek and Yusuke looking. The sound of the snarls and the growls has picked up quite a bit since you guys walked over here, and the volume is getting louder and louder and louder. And from this vantage point, Yusuke and Eek through this hole, because it's a wide hole, you can see the form of like a humanoid shape. The footsteps are getting loud as he is in a full sprint towards this chapel. He's running full on. His eyes are wide. It looks like he's running for his life. On his hip.
If he gets in, I shoot him.
Well, on his hip.
I would be motioning to Eek, like...
Well, there's more. So on his hip, you can see he has a lantern attached to his hip that bounces with his footsteps as he's full on sprinting. And behind him, you can see yellow eyes in the darkness that are moving towards him and getting larger and larger as he is full on running into this chapel.
Would I know what those yellow eyes would be from?
From this distance, some sort of beast, some sort of animal. But you can hear the snarls and the growls, and you see this humanoid shape. Although it's still hard to make out from the dim light, but he's full on sprinting towards this opening, looking for shelter.
Alright. Then I shoot at the creature with the yellow eyes instead. Hopefully.
Hold, child. I'll let go. I'll let go of the trapdoor and not walk in front of Ikanik, but like come around.
Okay.
I could just stand in front of, like, behind her. She's only like 2.5 feet tall. 3 feet?
So Lucan, you are full on sprinting towards the chapel behind you. As you are going down this dirt road, looking for shelter, you unfortunately riled up a pack of dretch.
Ugh.
And four dretch,
Nasty.
What did you do that for?
4 dretch standing almost 4 feet tall. They're grotesque creatures with pale, tight, rubbery skin, and along their arms you can see bristles of hair and varicose veins. Their noses are squashed in like a pig, and they have very small fangs that come from slavering, slock-jawed mouths, and 4 of them are full-on sprinting at Lucan as he's rushing in. And as they rush, their claws dig into the dirt, and they almost explode like swimmers.
And we can see this happening.
Yeah. Now that
Yusuke's eyes are going to go wide, and he's going to run to the front of over here and wave Lucan in, and I'm going to prepare Entangle for when they come in range.
Okay. So I will give you guys 1 round, and then we'll roll initiative for these guys are gonna be in range of you guys.
Yeah, and me and Silas hear these underground. Or hear this from where we are.
You heard someone walk towards the trapdoor, and then you heard them like rush very quickly away, and now you can hear like slow snarls and growls.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm gonna run into the actual chapel then at that.
Okay. So, Ikanik, would you like to describe yourself?
Yes. So my character, Ikanik, is a 3 foot tall, roughly, Arctic owl kin. They're called Avis. She's wearing a cloak with like a dark brown gray feathering on her shoulders, and then she also has a hood that doesn't seem to be attached to it that kind of straps around the front, and she has little weird ears on top of it, and she has a short bow that she's currently holding. She has a very cute small leather armor that she's probably made, and other than that, that's it. Her feathers range from like a gray to a white.
Okay. And Lucan, you want to describe yourself?
Yeah, so Lucan is humanoid. He's an actual human. He's just above average height. He's not too thick. He seems to be a little bit more on the skinnier side. He is wearing the standard like lantern priest like initiate gear. The lantern on his one side is generally used for ceremonial purposes, but right now the cantrip light is casted onto it, so it's emitting a glow. Yeah, he's pretty ashen in skin tone and has a kind of like chalky white hair. And he's very exhausted and somewhat, I guess, spooked would be the best word right now.
Nice. Well, the 4 dretch are making their way towards Ikanik, Lucan, and Yuska. Roll initiative. And Silas and Silver roll initiative too. Maybe click your token before you roll.
Now, because I'm holding Entangle, would I get like the surprise round or whatever to cast that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want us to roll too?
Yeah. Just in case you choose to come up and join. Got
I'd
it.
be able to fire on the surprise round too.
Sure.
Assuming I wouldn't hit somebody because I'm so short.
So Lucan's run is he rushes in, and if you want to turn around and do anything, within action too, Lucan? As these guys are rushing up to you guys.
Yeah, he's gonna cast false life on him. So.
You got it.
Nice.
Okay. 7. Nice roll.
Nice.
And then entangle. I see.
Verse 15 13 strength.
That's some high rolls.
All right. And fails a grapple, right?
No, fail
Is
is
it restrained?
restrained.
Gotcha.
And I believe that is the... Yeah, it's concentration for up to a minute and whatever 20-foot radius, so like, I guess right there. 25 feet in front of me. So, yeah. That's the entangled area.
Ooh.
I'm gonna give you control of this spell too. So in your spell radius, it should pop up. And
That's really cool.
you are best Tyler.
I forgot to change that. but,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So however you want to position it, that's
Yeah, I didn't change that into.
One space over. I can't actually move it. Yeah.
Okay.
And also that entire area is considered difficult terrain.
You want to put it like right up against the opening?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right up against me.
Cool. And then Ikanik, you want to shoot? Did I miss it?
Yep.
Okay.
Is it just? Is it?
Don't mind that. I didn't do that.
Oh. Is it a full like turn with a bonus action and an action, or is it just the whatever I was holding?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then I would like the bonus action Hunter's Mark.
Cool. Which one?
First creature that I would have seen. So it's either the left one or the right one. I think it might have been the right one, but I don't know. It's your call as a DM.
You got it.
Same person I'll be shooting at.
Gotcha.
Hunter's Mark isn't. I know that's damage, but like, it just happens.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna shoot him.
You get advantage because he's restrained for 21, 8, 10.
Oof,
Okay.
thank goodness.
So
Oh, is he a monstrosity?
No.
Damn. +2.
So Lucan
monstrosities.
dives into this chapel, touches himself on the chest, and this glowing light envelops you, giving you the temporary hit points. As it happens, you see the bear, anger in his eyes, throw up his hands, and these vines just shoot out from the ground. The vines here, though, are a little different than what you're used to. Yusko, they're more thorny and dark. They have like a very like a blackish tint to them, and they reach up, grabbing 2 of the dretch, stopping them in their tracks. And as the dretch is grabbed, Ikanik zones in on one, and you see an arrow shoot past both of you, catching the dretch in the throat.
Would they look corrupted in any way, like unnatural? Would you say?
Make a nature check.
Doesn't matter. So
No. They don't seem corrupted. They do seem grotesque, but So Sylvia, you hear above you the sounds of battle.
sounds like TikTok.
Okay. I say over to Silas, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna go check it out. And I'm going to move. If I did my movement right, I should end up there.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to actually shoot at this stretch.
Okay. And you have sneak because no one knows you're there.
Yep.
Not even Ikanik, Lucan, and Yuska.
My brilliant scheme has failed already.
Wrong thing.
Who are you shooting at?
That's a short sword. You got the wrong one.
Just sorry, that was short.
And then do D6 sneak too.
Why is that macro not working?
So they're both +5. I'll just give you the 23. I'll give you the 7 piercing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
11.
sorry. That macro's not working. I'll have to work it out.
You're okay. So, Sylvia, you rush up. Ikinig, as you let your arrow fly, another arrow flies, like right after yours flies, and Luca and Yusuke, you guys are looking towards the dretch, but you see 2 arrows go out, which is kind of. This Ikinig must be crazy good.
Yusuke knows better, so.
the 2 dretch closest to you guys get pelted with 2 arrows.
That's the end of my turn.
Alright. Silas.
I have 30 movement.
Yeah, or you could take action to dash for 60. Each square is 5 too.
Yep. So I would end up dashing to here.
Okay. So when you dash, it's loud and with your heavy armor, and just cling, 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 cling as you rush up. You rush past Sylvia. Ikinik, Lucan, and Yusuke, you hear the heavy clangs coming from behind you. This dretch is restrained.
He can take his action
Sorry. I figured it out.
break free if he wants against my save DC.
Alright. 4 fails. Yusuke.
I will pull the staff off my back. He'll close his eyes again. And I'll poison spray the non-restrained one in front of me. Oh wait, no, that's 10 feet. Never mind. I don't want to go into my entanglement, so I'll frostbite him.
Okay. You said the one on the right? This one?
The one that's not restrained.
Gotcha. Con save. Oh, I passed.
Yeah, and he only takes the damage if he fails. Okay. With that, I'm going to take 10 feet to go back to Ikinik.
So as you turn around to go walk to Ikinik, Silas, do you want to describe yourself?
Alright. I am a Sanguis, but sort of an oddity for a Sanguis, who stands roughly a little bit over 6 feet tall, and in a filled out range of weights, with silver hair, blue-gray eyes, roughly look like a late 20s humanoid. Wearing a blued chainmail armor, carrying a crossbow currently.
Okay. And you would see Sylvia, because he's not hiding behind anything, but you can turn around and see him. So you'd see Sylvia if you want to describe yourself.
Sylvia is a 5'6" ashen Sanguis. Very white skin and ashen hair, with red eyes. Wearing a tattered noble cloak and carrying it with leather armor underneath, and currently carrying a short bow.
Nice.
Upon seeing these two, I'll just nod a friendly hello. And that's my turn.
Alright. Ikinik.
Ikinik would look really happy when Yusuke comes back to her, and then she notices that he's not looking at her and he's looking behind her, so she turns around and she's like, and she sees these 2 creatures, and she's like, changes her short bow direction towards them, see that Yusuke is kind of like okay with them. She turns it back, face the creatures. Question. To climb on Yusuke, is that a bonus action? Or an action?
I'll give you half your movement speed.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah.
It would take about half our movement speed to climb.
Like 6 feet.
No, 8. Yuska is very tall.
Let's say you're
So-
5 foot kneeling, so.
She climbs up on Yusuke's shoulders,
Okay.
and she's going to shoot, hopefully over Lucan's head or shoulder, and shoot at the dretch that has the hunter's mark on.
You got it.
Ah! And then she releases her bow. If I can never click it.
21 hits for. I think your hunter mark was 2.
Isn't it every
Yeah.
time?
Yep. So it's 11.
Mm-hmm. 1 point of damage.
And be sure to give yourself that spell slot back.
Yeah.
Because roll 20 is stupid.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine.
So your arrow catches the dretch in the throat, and he's restrained by the entanglement. So he tries to fall over because he's starting to bleed out, and he's looking critical. But the entanglement keeps him upward, so he's like wrapped in these vines, dying.
She's just growling on his shoulder.
Half speed. Ooh, I can get to there. The dretch fights through the entanglement with his full movement. He's going to make a bite attack and a claw attack. Bite on Lucan. And claw on Lucan.
He's gonna yelp in surprise. He's still in like a level of shock that he went from running from his life to now having people on both sides of him, and he knows nobody.
So they get a 20 hit you for 6, but an 8 misses.
Alright, that sucks, but I'll take it.
The dretch is going to try to break free. 19.
That's a success.
Have this half movement through all this stuff. He gets to there. He just rushes forward, bleeding out, slowly falling over the roots as he runs forward. Dretch rushes there. Lucan.
Yeah, Lucan, in his moment of surprise, now that he has the Dretches caught up to him, he's just going to swing his mace at the one that attacked him in an attempt to ward.
You got it? Oh, for 1. Yeah. Connects, though.
That'll teach him.
Shaping. I get a -1 strength. I was like, what is this so low?
Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's Lucan.
You do anything else? Or is that your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. Sylvia.
Does the other dretch not have a turn? 'Cause you only did 2 there.
He failed his, he's still restrained. He failed his breakout.
I'm gonna use my cunning action to dash.
Hmm?
And go pretty much all the way over here.
You got it. So you can get... Yep.
And I'm gonna shoot this dretch here.
Wait, does a 20 not hit Lucan?
Do I still have sneak?
Yeah, he had temporary hit points.
Oh, right.
No.
No. Okay.
An 11 hits?
And that does not hit.
It did. So you don't get your sneak attack, but you do 5 damage to it. They have really low AC.
And that'll be my turn.
So you sprint around outside the side there, and as they're flowing in towards the chapel, you shoot the one that's behind the other 2.
Yep.
Silas.
Alright, Silas will move to here. Swing at the dretch. Actually, isn't it an action to change weapon?
A bonus action.
Sure. Bonus action?
It's a house rule.
To switch. Okay. To switch from the light crossbow to his flail and scimitar.
You got it. It's a bonus action to use your offhand, so you can only do 1 strike.
Okay. So I still have both.
You get both out, but you can only...
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll swing with the flail at the dretch.
Oh, miss. 6 misses.
Ouch.
So the dretch that was biting at Lucan came down with his mace and he knocked it on the ground. As he did, you swing overhead and just miss the dretch. See if this dretch can break free. Nope.
That is a weak ass dretch.
He's just squirming as these branches are grabbing onto him. He's arr, arr, arr. Yuska.
Yuska will take another couple steps forward. And I will swing at this dretch with my quarterstaff.
16 hits for 3.
And I will also throw that on it.
Or sphere, you got it.
So Yuska's eyes will just like go real big. You'll see his like really like angry looking green, like dark green eyes. And wow.
Double. He had 2 health left. Double ones is enough to kill it.
He'll just slam it to the ground.
Graze it with your claw and just that.
And then for my bonus action, because I don't know Lucan or his abilities quite yet, Yuska will pull a staff, to his chest, wave his hand over like the top of the staff. And with my bonus action, I will use Balm of the Summer Court on Lucan. You'll get 1 temporary hit point. I guess no other heal. Wait, can you still heal those temporary hit points for the duration of however long they last, or are they just gone?
They're just gone once they go away.
Yeah, so you just get 1 temporary hit point.
Cool. Hey, it could save my life, so I'll take it.
Ikanik.
Alright, so Ikanik is still on Yuska's shoulder. So when he traveled forward, she did as well. She sees Yuska kill something that she wanted to kill. She's kind of okay with it. But she would growl, jump off Yuska onto the body that he flattened. Oh wait, is the thing in front of him dead?
No, the thing directly in front of me is still. The one with your hunter's mark is fine.
Yeah, with the hunter's marks, he's bleeding
Awesome.
out.
She jumps off Yuska and jumps on him. She's going to make heck.
You're gonna. Okay. Sure.
Okay. Do I need... I can just do a beak attack then?
Yeah. That's enough.
That's
Wow.
pretty strong.
It's gonna put you right here.
Her beak is like, has little bits of skin on it. And then she would back up into Yuska. Because she sees the dretch in front of her.
Okay.
And, yep, that's gonna be her movement. That's gonna be her turn.
Alright.
Oh.
The dretch is going to attack you.
Yeah, it's... That's not like that.
Bite attack on Ikanik. 3 claw, 15.
Oh, that hits. Second one hits.
Second hits for 8 as it. So you jump down, you dive on, you stick your beak into the dretch as you just jump down like you're high diving.
A little bit of a kamikaze.
The dretch is a little confused at first as he bites at you and misses, and as you back away, he goes across your chest with a claw attack. Lucan.
Yeah, so now that Lucan is a little bit more, he's aware of what's going on, he's going to, with his spare hand that not holding the mace, he's going to hover the hand next to the lantern and pull some of the flames that's going on inside of it, and he's going to throw it.
Nice.
He needs to make a dex saving throw on Sacred Flame.
18.
Oh, that's too bad. Wrong button. Ignore that.
The dretch kind of ducks under the way as the flame shoots over it, hits the roots behind it.
Yeah, and he's gonna move back a couple feet.
Okay. Sylvia.
I'm just gonna straight up take another shot at that dretch in front of Ikanik.
Sure, you get sneak because she's next to it.
Sweet.
10. He's. You catch the arrow goes through his cheek and that funny nose and sticks out the other side, but he's bleeding out, but he's barely alive, just chomping at Ikanik, blood flying out of his mouth as he's chomping.
Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Silas.
Alright, I will move here and take a swing with my flail at the dretch.
You got it. Oh man, it misses. Your flail, it gets away from you, and right before it hits Ikanik, she ducks out of the way. It goes wide. If you want to use your other weapon, it'll be your bonus action.
I will swing at it with my scimitar.
You got it. 21's enough, though.
Gotta get rid of that flail.
So the flail goes wide, but as it does, you take your scimitar and you jam it into the throat of the dretch, and it falls in front of you. You still got movement left if you want to move, or you stay there. You're half speed going into the roots if you go half speed, or if you want to go into the roots.
So I could basically go 2 squares. I'll stay here.
Okay.
On my turn.
The dretch is gonna try to break out again, and fails.
Nope.
Poor guy.
It's just still chopped up, just spit flying everywhere. It's raging to break out. Yuska.
Well, seeing that that the dretch is still restrained, I will tap Ikanik on the shoulder.
Ikanik heals for 7
It's almost all of it.
through the power of friendship.
And I'll push her. Well, no, I will pick her back up and put her back on my shoulder.
Do you want to let him do it? Do you allow him to pick you up?
Oh, absolutely.
Gotcha.
She's like his moving taxi.
And then I'll move there. That's my turn.
Go. Ikanik from the shoulder of Yuska.
Alright, moves Hunter's Mark to that guy that's left. And can she, as a bonus act... Oh, no. No. Okay, she'll shoot him. With her short bow.
You got it. He's restrained, so 19. And your hunter's mark damage.
Oh,
Got it.
yeah.
I got it.
Hunter's Mark every time?
No, I got it. I write it down when you cast it, so I remember it. I just
there's
use
only one?
I use the same damage each time. Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
just to make it easier.
Or second hunter's mark was better.
It was?
It was a 5.
Well, doesn't it? It sticks the entire time, so you use hunter's mark, and that's the damage you get. It's kind of like hex.
True.
Yeah.
When you transfer, yeah.
You roll the damage, I thought, every time you hit.
You sure?
But it uses your
Thought so.
spell slot every time.
No,
Spell slots every time.
Or do you
That's-
just re-roll
It's
it?
just an extra 1d6.
Okay.
I mean, I
But
could be
it's an
wrong.
extra
but, yeah.
1d6 here.
It's
Yeah, it's not. It's 1d6 whenever you hit it with a weapon attack.
So it's like
Gotcha.
sneak attack.
You deal an extra
Yeah.
1d6.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I believe it's the same thing with hex, but for spell attacks.
You just have to just roll a d6 then every time you attack until you make it a macro.
I like the manual labor of doing successful things. So that's 12, unless you want to just do the 6 plus 2 for now.
I got you. 12. He's still alive. He's just still struggling as the arrow pierces him in the chest. He's.
That's it.
Lucan.
Yeah, so Lucan, he's gonna move forward and he's gonna grab flame from his lantern and throw it towards the other.
You got it. Automatic fail because he's restrained for what damage you get.
Man, you suck.
Ass today.
He kind of takes the hit from the flame, but he just keeps struggling. So yeah.
Right, okay.
If I go in that stuff, do I have to make a saving throw?
No, but it is difficult terrain, so you have half movement.
Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna shoot him. I don't have sneak, right?
You have advantage, so you do, because he's restrained. So you got sneak and advantage on your attack. He's gone. How do you want to do this, dude, as you kill it?
Just right in the eye. I just line it up. He's sort of moving, but not really. And then I just line up his eye and goes right in it.
Nice. So the last stretch falls. And the 5 of you now stand amongst the dead Dretch bodies.
That was great.
Well, hello there, guys.
Hi. I'm Ikanik.
They call me Sylvia.
Yuska will,
Sylvia.
before entangle dissipates, Yuska would examine the roots real quick, because they don't seem right to him.
It's almost like the roots that you summoned were like touched with blight. Like they were unclean compared to what you're used to.
I'll stand back up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I just introduce myself to all the other people that just showed up.
Ikanik would offer you her wing hand. Because she has thumbs.
I'll shake it.
This is Yuska.
Hi, Yuska.
Well, it looked like someone could have used some help, but I think we took care of that.
Yes. Thank you for that. If I hadn't have ran into you, I'm sure I wouldn't be here right now. Name's Lucan. Nice to meet you.
Hi! I'm Ikanik. She'd go over to Lucan.
He'll like squat down and extend his hand.
She'd shake it. And then she'd go
Nice
collect
to
her
meet you.
arrows from the faces. So she shot.
Roll a
I'm
d10.
gonna also collect my arrows.
Oh,
at the
okay.
same
What
time.
was that?
That's an experience.
Both of you guys roll d10s.
Yuska would also introduce himself as the Dreamwalker.
I love the idea of having never met an Aves before, and now just like one waddles up to him, shakes his hand, then runs off to collect arrows off of corpses.
She puts her like little clawed little foot on one of its faces as she yanks backward.
Sure. You can eat with a 5, you get 2 arrows, and Sylvia with a 9, you get 4.
Cool, thanks.
Like arrows back? Because she's only used 3.
So one of them was broken inside the body when it connected.
No, I get that, but
Yeah.
like if she... Did you keep track of how many arrows we...
Hmm?
Oh, wow, you're so good.
He knows how many arrows you used.
I've been keeping track of my own arrows as well.
Me too. That's really good. Okay.
This character sheet should take it away if it doesn't. It should automatically remove arrows from your... If I did it right.
Oh, I didn't know that it did.
Mine wasn't.
It wasn't? Okay, that's fine. I just didn't know if it was or not.
Oh,
It's
no, it
supposed
didn't.
to, but... So about this time too, the sun has set completely, and it is now pure darkness around all of you. Just the pale moonlight shining through this dense fog.
Is anyone hungry?
Lucas still has his lantern on him, so you still have some sort of light for those that don't have dark vision, which might just be Lucan. Yeah, it's just Lucan.
Actually, you might be the only one.
He would still
Or
use the light
humans.
from his lantern on his belt.
That's funny.
Yuska, can we make a campfire now?
We should do it in the basement so that no more of those things come.
I agree with her. I don't. After all of that, I'd rather be underground right now.
Yuska will open up his eyes just a little bit. Like, sure. And he'll pick up Ikanik.
Okay.
There's something unnatural about this place, little buddy. So it's probably best for tonight.
Okay.
So the 5 of you are going to go under the trapdoor?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And you want to build a fire?
Out of curiosity, how tall is the ceiling here?
For you, you'd have to duck a bit. It's about 6.5 feet.
I would definitely pull Ikanik off my shoulder going in.
Can she just like hold on to your back? Little.
If you want, Yuska's not going to resist.
Yeah, I mean you walk a lot faster than she does.
Okay. So you guys climb down, closing the trapdoor above you. Everyone loves Silas's background in Twitch chat, so shout out to the fire behind Silas. You want to build a fire down here, or do you want to just kind of rest for the night?
Would there be anywhere for the smoke to escape through besides the hatch?
No.
Alright, he starts building a fire.
Okay.
Let's all not suffocate down here.
Where would you like to place the fire?
I have you ever been underground before? I would not suggest the
No.
fire.
Well, I think there was that one time Yuska was in a hole with me. But I mean, it was kind of like a cave, but it was like a hole.
I don't know if holes
Are there
underground.
torches on the wall as shown in the map for light?
Oh, no. There's no light down here.
No.
Except for what Lucan has on his lantern.
On his belt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucan will unclip the belt and kind of like put it in the middle of the room so everyone has a little bit of light.
Sylvia and Silas, from before when you guys started down here, you went through it, didn't find anything of note. There was a couple destroyed and desecrated grave markers that you guys didn't mess with, but for the most part, this entire area is just like a dugout cellar under this chapel.
So what's a bear and an Arctic owl doing in these parts?
I'm an Avis. I am not an owl. I don't think owls can talk to you. And that's not a bear. I told you he wasn't a bear.
He appears to be a bear to us.
He does look like a bear. Yep, I told him that.
Well, I am an Ursus. I suppose that is close enough. But for what we're doing up here, well, I'm hoping to find out.
His, Yusuko's ears look kind of similar to the makeshift ears that is on the hood that Ikanik is wearing. So is anyone evil?
Divine evil.
Pardon?
You know, like the things we killed. Are you like that? But and, you know, you're better looking than them. But do you?
I may not know much about this
murder
area.
things and people and creatures.
I'm sure if any of us were evil, they'd be attacking us right now, just like those things on the surface. I don't think you have much to worry about.
Okay. Okay, then can we be friends?
I do have a question on why there is a lantern here in the Nevermore.
That's my lantern.
Oh, you mean Lantern Priest?
Yusuke was the
Yes.
lantern.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like that?
Yes.
Well, I suppose I'll keep it simple. I've been sent towards the east in order to spread Rezmir's light.
What's a Razmiran?
You don't know Rezmir.
Has Yusuke taught any religion to Ikanik?
I would have only taught you about Amara, Therial, and Lunawin.
Nope.
I don't even have words for that. Normally when I meet people, they at least know of the Albright's name.
I see you there, Blanton. You know that's a lie. You know that's a fucking lie.
If you,
I will bring Raz back from the grave.
If you'd like, I can write you a page or two explaining of his heroic deeds and savior of the land.
Oh yeah.
It won't take me too much time.
I didn't know he saved the land.
And he's gonna like start shuffling through his bag that's now on the floor to grab a paper and his ink and pen.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Did you know about Razmiran?
What I know about Razmiran?
Make a religion check.
It's not my specialty.
You know that he deals with some sort of like light and law, but you're not really sure what it means.
Yusuke will just scratch his chin. No. Doesn't ring a bell.
Silas and Sylvia would both know, and I'm curious, when you hear Razmir, do the two of you keep a stoic look, or do you guys shudder a bit from the sound of Razmir?
I would keep a stoic look based on my background.
Okay. Yeah, I just wondered.
I mean, you read my background, so you know why.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Two Sanguis hearing about light and law. That's no worries, Sylvia. Or Sylvia.
You can just be brooding in the corner. Everyone needs it.
Something else of note is whenever Sylvia speaks, her voice doesn't come out very eloquent. It's very, very raspy, like her her vocal cords are made of sand because she's ashen. So it's like.
Yeah.
Ikanik isn't so close to Sylvia.
Sorry, it seems like it's subsided for now.
Okay.
Oh.
Is Yusuke holding the lantern, or are you sitting on top of the lantern?
Oh, I'm staying
Okay.
close to.
Gotcha.
I was wondering why there was a lantern token.
Because Luke can put his lantern down.
Yeah.
You guys tell me whenever you want to advance to the next day. This is however you guys want to spend your evening. If you want to make watches or if you want to speak, whatever you guys like to do.
I mean, Ikanik's just gonna talk.
I'll keep watch, seeing as I do not need sleep.
Yeah, and then Lucan's pulled out his like small mirror that he uses in the morning, and he's kind of like using it as a flat surface for his paper, so he can write his small Razmir essay for Ikanik, whatever her name is.
Ikanik.
Ikanik. All right, I'll try.
Yusuke would put his hand. Yusuke would put his hand on Ikanik and just tell her, "You should rest."
But I don't think he's done yet. He's writing this for me.
And you can read it in the morning.
Can humans just stop? They can. Okay, yeah. No, like, yeah, that was stupid. Where are we sleeping?
Are you The Witcher? Have you watched The Witcher yet?
No. I need to start that.
Show's so good.
He just has his deep bear thinking growl or like hum.
Oh, Ikanik does have a small pack with. Yeah.
Perhaps over in this corner, little buddy.
Yeah, I like that corner too.
Silas, you would have noticed too when you went down here over the graves, the resting graves. The same sprawled parchment, the same tapestry that was upstairs is also laid over each of these graves. In different types of decomposition over the graves, but they lay it's almost like a blanket over the grave with the same markings on top in that same forest green color.
Like it's mentioned or something. Ikanik would go to bed.
Okay. Ikini goes to sleep.
Yeah. Eventually, Lucan will finish his small paragraph, or I guess a whole page's worth of explaining Razmir and his own, keeping keynotes
like
on the
Ross.
idea of mostly why Lucan's there is to pierce the light, or to pierce the Nevermore Expanse and spread Razmir's light.
Okay.
And then just talking about how he's a very, very justice-filled individual.
Nice.
And then he'll head off to bed.
Yuska will spend at some point like the duration of a watch. He'll pull out his staff and he'll just stick it in the ground in front of him, and he'll just focus on it, thinking about the corruption of like the entanglement that he saw.
Okay.
Just kind of fixated on that.
Sure. So everyone sleeps except for Sylvia, who's going to keep watch. Can you hear me, Sylvia? Are you still here?
Dun dun.
I think he's froze again.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it looks like it.
Okay.
Connections.
Well, Sylvia would have heard above while all of you are sleeping.
Dun dun.
It's going to throw off the Discord for a sec. So if you're watching on stream, until Sylvia gets back, the faces will be a little skewed until he gets back.
Mine's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Lucan.
in two spots.
Lucan hit properly. No, the Wisconsin W is in the stream.
I
Yeah.
become Sylvia.
Where the W's supposed to be.
Badgers? What? There's another one?
Sylvia, as you kept watch, you would have heard above you more of those same snarls from the wretch from before. Kind of walk over the top, not opening the trapdoor, but they walk over top around 4 to 5 in the morning, just like they're smelling and searching, but they can't find the group.
Would I also kind of hear it if are they loud?
Not loud.
Loudish?
Yeah, just kind of slowly looking around. They never come down though, and as the night ends and the day begins, Sylvia, you watch as Yuska, Ikanik, Lucan, and Silas all wake up, arise, and you can see the slight glimmers of sunlight shooting through some of the trapdoor. But it is day.
Good morning, Lucan.
Good morning. Have you read? And he points towards his paper that's like scrolled up like with a little like piece of string to like hold it together, and it's just like sitting right next to her head.
Nope. I was asking about that. Okay, thanks. Should we go back over? Should we pick it up? I'll read it.
Yeah, and then Lucan will light the lantern using the cantrip.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Can you teach me how to do that?
I don't believe I can. That's usually something that only a devotee of Razmir can do, and you don't even know of him, so it might take some time. But I'm sure maybe.
I think maybe. I'll know about him soon.
All right, it's day. What would you guys like to do?
Probably leave.
Big wrestling above.
Sylvia's just getting destroyed. All right, I'll move you guys up. Pick up Lucan's lantern. For those familiar with the area, you know you're about a day and a half journey to Nova Vaci from, you'd estimate from this point.
So
You
where
still
are the
where are we
rest?
going?
That's actually a great. I was about to ask that.
No, yeah.
Where are you guys going? 'Cause I was just heading towards the city down that way. I don't know how far away it is, but I was hoping, since you guys managed to, it seems like you can take care of yourselves, you'd come along.
I believe we're also heading in that direction. I'm looking for more of my circle.
Razmir's blessings, it seems that our fates are perhaps intertwined.
Razmir
What if-
bless this? Wow.
There's, I don't know
That's
who else
pretty-
would have.
Well, I mean, there's Amara. She's pretty cool too.
I suppose that could have happened, but I mean, Razmir looks upon me, so if anyone's gonna be blessing us, I'm sure it'd be him.
Couldn't it be both?
I guess. I mean, I'm sure there's enough room in the sky for 2 sets of eyes.
Okay.
I wonder if Razmir's eyes are bigger than hers, though.
All right, here we go.
They're much more than just the gods of the above.
Sorry about that.
Assuming that this Razmir is one of them.
That's a lot.
I can assure you he is. After all, he is the god of light and law and justice and all that is good. If that's not a deity of the above, I don't know what would be.
Well, I like good things, so I want to hear more about this Razmir god, please.
Well, in time you will. I don't want to overwhelm you.
Good. Are you staying with Yuska and I?
If we're heading the same way, I don't see why not.
Good. All right.
Um,
Sylvia, are you coming too with your friend Silas?
Yes, I am.
Do you always sound like that? Like I'm like,
Yeah, pretty much. I just don't want to like hurt my throat trying to do that.
Alright, fine. Don't worry about it.
It'd be so bad.
While you guys are talking, the sky above opens up. And the rain begins. Just slight drizzle. Very, very cold rain in this part of the world.
yeah, Lucan will lift up his hood in hopes of keeping his hair dry.
Yuska will pick up Ikanik. I wonder if this Razmir would be known to Lunawin.
Well, that's a good question. You gotta ask.
Next time I find myself dreaming, I will.
I thought you told me that she's in the sky all the time.
Perhaps the above.
Do you think she blessed us too?
It's hard to say.
I think she did. And Amara and this Razmir god. Sounds pretty good.
Well, Theriel's might was also with us.
This is a lot of gods. I don't think I can keep all of them straight. I'm probably just walking, I assume.
Yeah, I would. Yusuke would have picked up Ikanik and just heading off in the direction of the city, or rather, the direction he thinks the city's in.
Okay. So on this journey towards Nova Vaci, the roads are paved in dirt, and the surrounding hills in this part of the town are just rolling dark hills. One singular road leads towards Nova Vaci. Do you guys want to just kind of go walk together as a group down the roads, or do you want to have like a marching order with someone playing lookout in the front and in the back? How safe do you want to travel?
Yusuke would most likely be in the front.
Yeah, Ikanik
Unless
will
somebody
be
was
pointing the way.
City. Yeah.
So Yuska's leading, but Ikanik is very adamant about being the navigator.
On it, off of his shoulder, like you said, on his shoulder,
Yeah.
and navigate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Lucan would be probably in the middle of the group.
Okay.
I feel I would
afraid to
trail
attack from any
behind.
side.
I'd be with Silas. I don't know the other people enough yet to be able to trust them.
Okay. So I got Yusuke in the front, Ikanik on his shoulder, Lucan, then Sylvia, and then Silas in the back.
We're fucking Kappa and Rizzo.
You like that,
Except
Rizzo?
Yusuke's kappa is more useful.
Yeah, Rizzo's watching right now. Don't give him any ideas.
Hello.
Alright, so as you guys are now marching
Don't ask, right?
towards
Yes.
Nova Vaci, Yusuke, Ikanik, and Silas give me perception checks, and as you guys roll, we're going to take our quick 5-minute break and be back for the last part of this journey for today. So if you're watching on stream, we'll be right back. Just refresh the drinks. 25.
God damn it.
But you want a perception?
Yeah. So guys, we'll be right back.
I have Natural Explorer as a ranger. What's that do? I have advantage on initiative? Oh, I think I knew that. I think I already programmed that.
I already know Lee's going to hate.
I have
once
advantage
you get
on
over
my first turn in combat. I have advantage on the attack.
Ah, sorry, you're a ranger. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so your group can become lost. Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group. Even when you're engaged in other activity while traveling, you remain alert. I need to tell him that. If you're traveling alone, when you forage, you find twice as much when tracking other creatures. Okay, so yeah, no, I'm gonna go refill my drink and go to the bathroom. Good session. Am I talking too much?
No, you're fine.
Okay, worried about talking too much.
Yuska will curtail you because he doesn't trust these people yet, so.
She is all gung-ho. It's 16 people so far. That's pretty nice. I'm back.
Yeah, well, everybody's refreshing their drinks. Thought I'd pop back since I'm here and say what's up, since we have a lot of viewers. So what's up, guys? You enjoying this so far? Good old Rizzo. They're taking your ideas. Hey, what's up, Zamidian? How you doing, man? Did you guys get snowmobiling today?
Do I need to remind you of my hunter stuff?
Of your
Or
hunter stuff?
natural wanderer?
No.
Or natural explorer, sorry.
No.
Okay. Like, good.
You guys are fine finding your way around. I'm just
Track of so many good things.
I have my just chatting part up while everyone's refresh your drinks to talk to people since we've had almost 20 beers tonight.
20. I thought you said 20 beers.
Oh no. If I had 20 beers I'd be
I'm probably close to that with my mixers.
Oh, you had to fix your car? That sucks. What was wrong with your car? Is it Midian? I'm just talking to stream while everyone gets back.
Yeah.
20
So
brews
who wants
down,
to
he
pay
wouldn't
for
be
the
able to
house
check.
I just bought?
That was interesting.
Did you figure out what the connection issue?
That sucks, see.
I think so. I just stopped hotspotting and immediately connected to my internet, and it's working fine now. Hopefully.
I see you got my message.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Seems like a good plan.
I said I can't see Discord notifications while I'm streaming, and I checked on my phone and Razric said fuck you.
I specifically that your notifications were shit. So
Get good, Lee. Get good.
Well, because my whole left screen is just everyone's webcam, so I can pull the pictures over. But we've had a good
Got a
turnout.
third
so far.
monitor.
Yeah.
I have 3. Well, and my third monitor is on my notes.
Oh,
I have all my
get a
one.
fourth.
One note. I'm getting a fourth. I'm going to put it above my middle monitor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Consumerism.
There is no fighting allowed in Twitch chat. Unless it is going to be a knife fight, then I consent.
Is it Tyler and Des?
It's
Let it be
Midian and
Tyler
raining.
Z.
Aw.
Everyone's here, so let's jump back into it. What's up, Bland?
Ooh, I can't wait till level 4. I already have the fuckery planned.
The fuckery. So with a 25 and a 19, about a little past midday, about 400 feet in front of you on this dirt road that kind of snakes its way towards Raven's Roost. This large wolf-like beast walks across the trail and just slowly walks past the trail and then down one of the sloping hills. And as it does, 3 more smaller wolves, almost pup-like, rush behind it and also follow the large wolf-like creature down the slope of the hill. The slope of the hill goes to the left, where your dirt road curves a little bit to the right. It's hard to make out what type of wolf-like creature this would be from this distance, but you do see one very large one, almost the size of you, Yuska, and then 3 smaller ones, a little bit smaller than Ikanik, rush past the trail up there.
Ikanik would let out a little. And that's it.
Did you even make a noise there? I didn't hear anything.
I didn't either.
Oh.
Which just made it even better.
Well, would I know what type of like wolf or anything this?
No,
would
he
happen
just
to
said
be?
you can't see it from this far away, loser. Listen.
Well, I mean, I have a perception of 20. I rolled a 20.
And you just said you can't say it.
Is Limit playing herself?
Sorry.
Limit is
being
Ikanik.
so kind, it's really hard to contain it in.
It's hard to tell from this distance, but it is a very large, 4-legged, wolf-like, dog-like creature.
I think we should just let them pass.
Did
They
you
don't
want to
see-
do something else?
No.
Probably just, fine.
Sure.
And drinking.
So you guys continue down this dirt road.
I don't see any reason to disturb them.
Going down the dirt road's pretty uneventful for the rest of your journey so far, and it's been a very lucky, merciless journey, except for the dretch attack for the most of you. The sun does begin to set. You'd put yourself maybe about 6 to 8 hours from Nova Vaci, so you have the option if you'd like to continue through the dark, or if you'd like to make camp for the night.
Would
Are
there
there
be any
any
negative
structure?
effects if we could continue?
If you continue through the dark, you take a level of exhaustion the next day, and my encounter table would be higher because of it being darker.
Well, after yesterday's event, Lucan would highly suggest not walking through the dark, especially because you can't see in the dark. So it doesn't help either.
Yuska and I always sleep.
It's often best to not travel during the night anyway.
Got it. So a campsite is made, campfire is made.
This campfire looks very familiar.
Brings back memories.
I only have so many mass Raz. And this one is very nice. So the 5 of you make camp. The sun sets. The rain stopped about halfway through your journey, which was a pleasant experience for the 5 of you, not having to walk through the rain for too long. But the campsite is made, and it's probably around 8:30 at night. Is there anything the group would like to do? If you want to keep watch, is it just Sylvia that's going to keep watch? What would you all like to do?
Gather around the campfire and sing our campfires.
In the light of Razmiran.
Yuska would definitely just, at some point during the night, do the same thing he's been doing. Pull out his staff, just focus, try to commune with whatever gods of nature or whoever is talking to him.
Ekanik would go and pass out some of the foraging finds that she found while they walked on the journey.
Okay.
Here's your portion, and here's your portion. Here's your portion. Yusuke gets one.
Would Lucan know that Silas is Sanguis?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So before we get into the city tomorrow, I'd like to know that I'm not walking into another trap. Those wretched beasts from the day before were enough for me. This place isn't safe, and I know that the Sanguis rule. Why are you not trying to take my blood? Don't mind the aggression and straightforwardness. I'm just making sure that I'm not going to die in the night.
Fuck the noble families.
Alright, well, I suppose that's an answer. I didn't even... Are you Sanguis?
Well, I'm Ashen.
Is that different than a Sanguis, or is it...
Basically, I've been starved. I haven't fed on blood in quite a while, so...
Oh, well, I'd like to let you know, I haven't had a lot of sugar lately, and I don't think mine would taste all that well. Don't even bother.
That's okay. In my state, I don't need to eat.
At all?
Pretty much.
Alright. And you? And he's gonna point towards, Silas.
It has been a couple days.
I hope you don't consider me. I've heard rumors that it's not a very enjoyable experience. Kind of like just like fiddling with his lantern, kind of like keeps like twitching his finger against it. He's not enjoying this conversation.
You needn't worry yet.
Sorry, did you end that sentence with yet? And he's gonna like just kind of like shift in his seat and kind of like inch back a little bit farther onto the back of the log.
Don't worry, I won't let him eat you.
Thank you for
Eating
that.
people is bad.
Yes, I agree with her. She knows what she's talking about.
You guys said you're not bad people.
We're not. At least, I'm not.
Silas? Are you a bad person?
Ask Sylvia.
What did I say? I couldn't hear.
He said ask Sylvia. Well, he's been a bad person to me, but also a very good person, so I'd say it's about 50-50.
Whatever you want to leave, roll for it. Silas? Whatever you want to.
Okay.
Yusuke. Should like nudge you. I think Silas is bad.
Well, he hasn't done anything bad yet.
Silas gets up and walks out of camp as you guys are talking about him.
Oh.
He stands up and walks away.
Where's he going? Where is he going?
Hopefully to find an animal and suck its blood, so he's not doing it to a human.
Why would he do that?
So Silas, when you return, would you have drank before you came back to the camp, or would you walk into the camp drinking?
I think right now I would have done it before.
Okay. So you're currently gone while you're doing this. He walks off out past the dim light out of your guys' vision. outside of your dark vision, just slowly walks away.
I don't trust him.
Well, he saved my life yesterday, so trust him.
Trust me,
A
he
little.
hates the noble families just as much as I do.
I mean, I guess that's reassuring.
Who are these noble families?
You've never heard of the Sanguis noble families? And you're in this part of the world?
What's a Sanguis?
Basically, humanoid, but live longer, but need to survive on blood.
So they're human?
I mean,
Not quite, no.
not quite.
But you
Of
are
a
human.
darker
which
elk.
points at Lishken.
Ilk.
What's an elk? No, there's nothing about elks here.
No, I misspoke. I corrected myself. Just to be cautious, these two seem to be not like the rest of them.
What kind of blood do they drink?
Any kind, really. Mainly human.
Well, do you drink bad people's blood or like good people?
Bad people. Definitely bad people.
I think that's okay.
Silas walks back and sits down. A little bit of blood hangs on the left bottom part of his chin.
Yes, go to him. And she'll like nudge it. Go talk to him. Go see if he killed someone that was.
I would look at Silas and just say, "Did you at least bury it?"
It's up to you.
I buried it in my own terms.
Did you give it a prayer as well? And what do you mean on your own terms? Did you, like, kick dirt on it, or did you actually dig it a hole?
As long as it was shown proper respect, as all things in nature must be shown.
While this is happening, a little raven flies out of the tree and lands on Silas' shoulder.
Life begets life.
It starts to nip on the little left part of your cheek where the blood is.
I brush it off.
It falls on the ground and it flies away.
Was that your friend?
They're common.
You have a lot of friends like that?
They're common as in the Nevermore. There are many ravens.
Oh. So that wasn't your friend?
Hey, Ryan, thanks for buying that hoodie, man. Hope you enjoy it. It's super comfortable. I'm pretty sure Ryan is Rizzo. If that's correct, give me a shout out in chat, dude.
What did you say, Silas?
A good question.
That's okay.
I said there are many ravens.
There's some heavy feedback.
Is somebody's washing machine on in the background?
Is my mic bleeding through?
It's Someone's
I didn't look to see who it was.
Eek.
So, you guys going to sleep? Because I'll watch. I keep watch. Don't need sleep.
Yep.
Well, it's gonna be hard. It's kind of spooky out, but I suppose I can give it a try. And at that, he'll take out his bedroll and place it next to the fire for some warmth.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll keep you safe.
Yes, and I'd like to wake up with all my blood in me too, if that's possible.
Like I said, I'll keep you safe. Don't worry.
Thank you. May Razmiran bless you.
Everyone else going to sleep?
Joe,
So-
was it you?
That's mine then.
Oh. Nick would go to sleep.
So I got Lucan going to sleep. Ekenek's going to sleep. Silas, you going to sleep?
I will.
Okay, Silas goes to sleep. Yuska, you going to sleep too?
Definitely gonna spend at least like half the night communing or attempting to.
Sure. Give me a religion check, Yuska. A 9. You get this weird feeling, Yuska, that you should not pick berries at sunset. Just like it's a weird feeling just kind of washes over you. You know, I shouldn't pick berries after sunset.
Upon getting that feeling, I'll just nod and he'll just mutter to himself, "Yeah, that's a good idea."
While everyone's asleep, Sylvia,
Yeah.
the raven from before comes back, and it lands on the ground next to Silas, and it gets really close to him and starts to peck on his bottom lip where the blood was. Not
I
enough to...
shoot him away.
Okay. Flies away. About 5 minutes later, it comes back.
I shoot it with an arrow.
Give me an attack. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Shabink. It just and the raven is just, the arrow sticking through the raven is it's like stuck into the ground next to Silas.
I'll get the arrow from it and then hide it.
Hide the raven?
Yeah.
Okay. How you want to hide it?
I'm gonna dig a small hole behind the and kind of just kick dirt on it.
Sure.
So that nobody can see it.
You got it.
There's a bird in your party, by the way.
That bird is
bird
asleep.
sleeping.
The rest of the night is uneventful, and the 5 of you wake as daybreak hits and the sun slowly rises from the east.
My mic muted. If I was sleeping at that point, would I have heard that shot? I have to ask that
Make
passive perception.
a perception with disadvantage.
Okay then.
Jesus. These
just,
roll-
just crit it.
Yeah. With a 20,
Okay.
you open your eyes and you see the arrow sticking through the raven. You see Sylvia pick it up and start to bury it behind the tree.
I'm not gonna like actually wake up. I'll just watch him do it and then go back to sleep.
You got it? The sun comes, the sun rises. The 4 of you are awakened on the last leg of your journey to Nova Vaci. Is there anything you'd like to do before you set out onto the road?
Smother the fire. And anything that's left in the embers.
Okay.
Oh, one of us is smart then.
Nice. Do you cover the fire? Back onto the dirt road. Same marching order?
I would say so.
Okay.
Unless somebody wants to change it up.
Yeah, no problem. We would probably still definitely be in front.
about a 6-hour journey. But eventually, the city of Nova Vaci reaches in front of you. The valley
Would
dips.
Yuska-
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go
Would
ahead.
Yuska tell my name Ikanik not to pick berries?
Oh yeah, I would have mentioned that to you.
Okay.
The raven, no, but the berries, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Slash Fury says, shoot that degenerate Yuska. Nice.
Okay, I'm good.
He means the me in real life and not actually Yusuke.
Was that a buddy of yours?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. I see you there, Alex.
Okay. Reach this time.
So welcome to Nova Vaci. As you guys get here about mid-afternoon, the valley dips, and you see dozens of sheep flocks roaming this thin, wispy hill, shepherds watching over them from afar. The dirt path swings around farms and wooden cottages until it reaches the iron reinforced gates. Nova Vaci. The grim town is dominated by an imposing castle perched atop a crag in the center of the town, overlooking the rest of the city. Docks to the north snake around the Raven's Roost Mountains and open into the frigid sea. The dirt path underfoot, as you get closer to the city, eventually gives way to a slick, wet cobblestone as you approach the gates. 2 guards are on either side of the entrance. For those familiar with the area, the guards are in normal Sanguis honor guard attire, full plate armor, blackened, almost like an onyx midnight. They carry the flails that are very common, or the maces that are very common with the Sanguis guard. That is given to all noble households that follow the taxation. They also have shields and the simple red scarlet colors around them. 2 of them stand on opposite sides. You guys are about 200 feet from the castle gates as you're walking up. If there's anything you'd like to do to prepare yourselves for entering the city.
I'm gonna put my hood up and hide my face in the cloak.
Okay.
Ikanik would whisper to Yuska, "Are these good people?"
I don't know yet. But it would probably be best to keep any of that to yourself for as long as we are here.
Okay.
Shout out to Daniel's Maps on Patreon for this map.
Maps.
So as you guys walk, the 5 of you walk forward towards the 2 Sanguis guard flanking both sides of this iron gate. No one's walking out or in. They just they watch as you approach.
Just before we go through the gate, I mentioned all to the other 3 because they're not familiar with the area. Do not engage and do not stare at the guards.
I can't talk to them?
No.
Okay.
And if I get lost in the city and need to find something, who do I talk to?
Well, Tip, don't get lost, you're human.
Noted, thank you.
Upon hearing that, Yusuke would just whisper to Ikanik and just perceive the world like I usually do. You can just squint your eyes if you need to.
She walks around like this the whole time.
So
She's not walking, I'm sorry, she's sitting.
do all 5 of you not stare as you pass into the gates?
When they get closer, Ikanik would immediately down.
Okay.
They wouldn't know because my eyes are always like this.
It's almost like if you were to encounter a gorilla in the wild, you keep your head down and you don't show aggression. Yeah.
Yeah, Lishken would like feel like a self-made like feeling of just like dread emanating off of them, like an aura, and he would just like immediately once he's in this certain space of them, would just like look down.
Does Lishken hide his lantern?
He would not have thought to do that.
As the 5 of you walk up, 2 maces shoot out in front of you. put in an X.
He's gonna jump like a little bit, and he's gonna look up towards the maces.
The two Sanguis look up. All you can see is the hazel eyes piercing through the plate mail.
Ikenik would look up too.
Is that
I
a
keep my
lantern
face-
on your belt, or do you follow light and law?
I'm a human. I can't see in the dark. It's just to lead the way.
Make a deception check. 10. All right. They stop and they stare at you, and they kind of look over the party. They look to Yuska, Ikenik on the shoulder. Then they turn and they look at Sylvia with her hood over her eyes, and they see Silas. They look at Silas and they stop and they stare at Silas.
Why have you stopped us?
You vouch for these folk?
I do.
Almost militaristic, they lift their maces and they spin. And the gate above you is open for you to enter the city of Nova Vaci.
I'm going to incite Silas.
Okay, what are you looking for?
Just why they would treat him, like, differently than us, I guess? See if there's something, like, about him, like, from this place.
Looking at Silas's armor now that you've seen these folk, they're very similar armor. His is a little more, like fancier, like more ornamented than theirs, but it has the same type of structure compared to the other ones. But besides that, his face, as it is most times, is just stern and full of no emotion.
Fair, fair.
So you enter the city of Nova Vaci. In this part of the city, the stone walls encircle some of the farmlands, and you're in what looks to be a more poor section of the city. The cobblestone goes in a few directions, but most of these homes are wooden shacks, not very large. You can see people in the fields. Most of the people here that you've seen so far are mostly human. They have a very sorrowful look on their face, sunken eyes, and they go about their daily day-to-day chores or jobs and don't pay you much mind. The streets aren't full, but there are people walking around. A lot of people that walk around and carry baskets full of breads, and vegetables, and meats. You can hear cattle and sheep baying and making sounds. You can hear chickens squawking. This appears to be more of a human settlement from this point that you guys are in right now.
If there's anybody who looks, like, particularly sickly, I would probably toss them a heal along our path through.
Sure. So walking down the steps, a man walks by. He holds a basket, and inside are some green stalks and a couple eggs, and he walks by kind of limping. As you reach out and you heal him, he stops and he looks over at you. Thanks, and he runs off. Don't want to be noticed. And he just runs from the five of you.
Wow.
You come to a crossroads, and this crossroads, everything so far has just been shacks and farmlands. There's a crossroad that goes to the right that will take you guys towards the open waters and some bridges that leads to as you look up, you can see from this direction the high noble household, that the imposing castle that sits on the crag above the city, high above it. And the middle part there where the crag is, you can see a large circular dome made of stone, ornate stone, and very high-tipped roof, like a high-tipped perch, like a gothic perch. To the left is more farmlands, and it gets a little bit poorer as you go to the left. But you guys are in a crossroads. You can either go left or right, whatever direction you want to go into the city.
Would I know what the other places are?
You would know at first glance that the castle at top is it's probably the the castle for House Ferrand. And you know him as William Ferrand, one of the noble houses. Your best guess would be from being in some of these places before, same with Silas. The closer you are to the castle, the more where the burgermeisters and the magistrates and more of the richer Sanguis folk are.
The burgermasters?
Burgermasters. Burgmasters. Burrowmasters, what did I say? Burrowmasters.
Burrow?
Burrowmasters.
Burgermeister?
Burgermeisters.
Burgermeisters.
The Burger King is to the north. And so the Sanguis in most of these cities, the Sanguis have like their section, their district, and then the humans have their district. And right now, based on what you've seen, you know you're in the human section, or more of a human area. But you know, as long as you follow the road to more well-paved roads, you'll eventually find, if you're looking for them, more of the upscale Sanguis aristocrats.
Silas, you seem to have some form of say in the city by the looks of it. Do you know if there'd be a library nearby or anything like that?
This is not a highly regarded town.
Even just a simple room full of books just to get the lay of the land. If you can't guess, I'm not from here, as I said earlier. I wouldn't mind catching up on the noble houses, since apparently those exist here. Even just one book?
I can sit you down and tell you about the noble houses. But not
It's no
here.
book, but it'll help.
Silas, who can we talk to? Because Sylvia said we can't talk to the guards, but you talk to the guards?
You might find a church. That would be your best option.
I can only talk to people in the church?
A church for information of the area.
That sounds like a library.
What about a druid circle?
That I would not know here.
This library or church, is it? What kind of church is it?
Alterel.
Pretend I heard a different name.
Razmiran does not exist in Nevermore.
Well, I don't want to push myself, but he doesn't exist yet. If my quest is complete, this land will be much brighter by the end of it.
Would Yuska know who Elturel is?
Make a religion check. 2?
Ooh.
You know he's evil.
So, Silas. So you see that person, that human over there? I think it could be a Sanguis. I don't know. Like down the street over there with the bread. I can't talk to him, right? Or can I talk to him?
It depends on how you feel. In this section of town, they are more likely to be human than Sanguis.
What if I want to talk to everyone?
That you are taking a risk.
Can I ask you if I can talk to someone before I talk to them?
Yuska's gonna put his hand on Equinique's shoulder. It's probably best you let me do any talking in this town.
Just want to say hi.
Until we know better. Just until we know.
I don't like this town.
We won't be here for very long.
I don't think it's filled with.
Not much is certain. Razmir's light does not shine upon this city.
As all things in nature, there must be a balance.
I wouldn't go talking about Razmir in this town. Be wary.
I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about his light. It's very different.
His dick. Sorry.
They're one and the same here.
I'm holding back so much.
Either way, I'd just be careful. Don't get noticed.
Fine. This city does need some cheering up, though.
Silas, how do we cheer up your people?
Are you guys standing still in the center here where you're talking, or are you walking? You're just standing there?
I assume we're standing still.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, I never really decided on which way to go.
We're just standing there in the crossroads.
People are walking by you holding, mainly humans, they're walking by, they're holding their goods for the day, or a couple kids rush past. Even the kids aren't playing in the streets, they just kind of rush past you. A wooden cart being pulled by 2 oxen rushes past you, going south, and then they turn east. And it almost has to push you to the side a bit.
We should get out of the open.
Where are we going?
Literally anywhere that isn't in the open.
Well, there's part of the city that we should definitely stay out of.
For now, we should stay out of the higher populated areas.
Yuska, what are we doing here? I want to liberate the good people. Of us.
Well, that is not why we are here.
Why are you guys here?
To liberate the people of Novavas.
You hear someone go, shh. The human looks over you. He has a mustache, like a thin mustache and a small beard. Not out loud. Don't say that out loud.
Okay, I'll say it quietly.
Eek. And Yusuke's gonna start opening his eyes.
They will hang you from the tree and drain you of your blood.
What?
They will hang you from the tree, drain you of your blood. If they know you speak of rebellion.
Why?
I cannot speak of it anymore. And he rushes away from you.
Eek.
Sorry.
We are in a dangerous place. I'll have to commune tonight. But there's a blight here.
A couple of Sanguis guards walk by, similar to the ones you saw at the gate. They just kind of walk past and they look. And they keep walking.
I shroud my face as they pass by.
I kind of use my free hand to cover the lantern a little bit so it's not immediately noticeable. He will not be putting it away, but he doesn't want people to see it, I guess, immediately.
This will be my first group that goes to prison.
Well, if this is like any other city, the docks, if there's any here, I mean, there's the river, I'm sure there has to be something. They're usually the less populated parts of town. At least more human populated, I would imagine. Should we head that way so we can discuss things further instead of here in the open?
That would probably be best.
Surprisingly, I agree with them.
I might be young, but that doesn't mean I know that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Do you want to go this way? Or you want to wrap around this way?
Do we know what 17?
From where you are, no, not to get closer to it. But you can walk that way.
Silas know what it is?
No.
No.
This is you guys' first time in the city? I'll take you this way. You guys eventually just start to walk. A couple of docks reach out to the right, and as you guys get to this little impasse, there's a sign that hangs from number 16, and the sign says Inn of the Howling Hound, and it has this like wooden plank as a sign, and there's a picture of this dog on the front of it.
Howling Hound?
Lucan's gonna like absently like kind of like brush his hand to his side to like get someone's attention. He's like, there, that sign, that's in. That's an omen from Razmiran. He's gonna whisper the name. We saw those wolves earlier. This is obviously where we must go.
Well, you guys do need to sleep at some point. And eat.
Huh.
From this vantage point, as you look across the bridge, when you guys look to number 13, it's more of a chapel like before, but it's a very well-made chapel. You can see a lot of not vines, but like rope full of thorns that have been carved to like surround this chapel. And there's a large noose on the front that hangs as a sign, and all there is the noose.
Are there any guards on the bridge? Or like guards?
There's no guards on the bridge. Every minute to minute and a half, a pair of guards will walk by. They all kind of stop and look, but they don't really give you. They don't come up to you and like question you, but they just kind of look and then they keep going.
Okay.
Mainly looking at the Ursus and the Aves.
Every time a guard would look at us, she would put her head down. Every time.
Just kind of walk by and look over, and they keep on their patrol.
To the inn of the Howling Hound.
So you guys about face and make your way towards the Howling Hound.
Going inside, Ikanik would like to walk in herself. She
Sure.
would get off Yusuf's shoulder.
You got it.
Just walking.
As you step into the Howling Hound, it's almost like a dive bar. As there's two wooden doors that open. As they open up, at this part of the day, at this time of day, it's not as crowded as you would expect it to be at like dinner time or at night. There's some people that sit around the tables. 4 are distinctively humans. They all have their hoods up, a large mug in front of them. The 5th is a dwarf who sits by the fire. A long brown beard runs down his chest. They all wear simple garments. There's tables and chairs surrounding the place. Besides the fire, there are many candles that are lit. A staircase on your right leads upstairs to what looks to be where the like the beds would be, like your rooms would be if you were to get a room. Yeah. There's a man behind the bar. He appears to be elvish or something like that, as he has pointed ears. Behind him, a hound rests, but this hound looks to be a little more vicious than what you'd expect from a normal dog. On first glance, it lays in the back and it has these large teeth and it snarls. And it has a makeshift like rug that it's laying on. As you walk in, though, the man behind the bar doesn't pay you much mind. He's just kind of leaning against it, keeping to himself. You have entered the Howling Hound.
Yuska, not knowing what to do in a place like this, is just gonna follow Silas or Sylvia. Whoever
These
makes the
two
first
tables
move.
in the bottom corner, do they have like partitions separating it from the rest of the
Yeah, you can go in there and sit and be away from everyone else.
Well, I think if we're going to be discussing anything, we should be taking some of those private rooms over there.
I agree.
Yuska, can I get a drink?
Let's talk with our new friends first.
Okay.
When you guys motion to walk into the room towards these rooms, on the wall here where the red mark is, there's a notice board pinned against the wall, and there's little pieces of parchment nailed to the board.
I'm gonna go over and read them.
Okay.
Ikanik too.
So I'm gonna put Sylvia and Ikanik by the board.
I would definitely be keeping an eye on Ikanik.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, Lucan will like. He's interested, but he wants to like look casual and not make it look like his entire movement to the board immediately.
Sure.
Guys.
Silas, as you walk up to Harvin Wester behind the bar, he leans back and he kind of sizes you up. Not used to your kind here, but don't be worried, I have blood.
I will take.
He pulls out this, it's almost like a decanter, and he pours the congealed liquid into a glass. 10 copper.
Do you know who I serve?
You serve someone who pays you greatly, I would assume.
While the interaction's going down, is there like a script or anything we could read?
Yes. So looking at the notice board,
Oh, that's it.
four pieces of parchment are currently nailed to this board.
As Ikanik is reading these, she's like, she reads it and she goes, and then she goes to the next one. Like, it's just last to me every single time.
I quickly turn around and ask them if they have any silver.
You asking the barkeep? Or you asking the party?
The party.
Gotcha.
No.
Not on me at the moment, no.
Good.
No, I only have a couple gold.
Muska carries my money.
I do? you're fucking broke then.
I actually didn't give myself money.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if anybody had silver on them so we wouldn't get arrested.
No silver on me.
Nor I.
Now, I know we haven't discussed anything yet, but I think the first thing that I would like to do is I'd like to check out this recreation of the below. Curious if it's anything like we talk about on the west side. If no one wants to go with me, I can go on my own, I suppose, but depending on where it is in the city, I might not come back.
Oh, don't do that. I'll go with you.
You, Eek would immediately feel a hand on her head. No.
But he's our friend, Yuska.
We have much to discuss if we're going to be here.
Okay, you know, you can't go yet. We have a lot to discuss.
Perhaps later.
Well, as long as it's before the year's end, I don't want to get there and the doors are closed. This is, by the sounds of it, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I would like to go.
Silas and Sylvia, roll a history check for me. See if you know who Burgermaster Beltane de Moriel is. Silas does not. Sylvia does know. So, Burgermeister Burgomaster, god damn it. Burgomaster Bellatane de Morio, you've heard in your journeys. He is a true elf.
Ooh,
And he is
wow.
he is the one that currently rules the city while Lord William Ferrand is a recluse in his castle.
He looks like a wonderful person.
Yeah.
And you would know as true elves from being your lineage. True elves are the elves that chose to descend with El Turel when the sacrifice happened 600 years ago. So they're basically the Erenel version of Drow.
Okay.
And because of your lineage too, you would know William Ferrand. So this is Lord William Ferrand de Sanguis.
That guy looks cool too.
He looks a lot nicer as well. I'm sure that's not true though.
We should steer clear. I'm telling this to the party. We should steer clear of anyone who will bring us to the Virgo Master.
So whenever you guys want me to change from the board, let me know. And if you ever want to go back and look at the board, always welcome. I always keep the boards the same in all the inns for the city. For the sake of myself.
Okay, I'm okay.
These would all be considered like side quests.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, then let's sit down and discuss whatever it is what we're here to discuss.
You gave Yiska your gold?
Yeah.
The freaking owl is more loaded than the adult bear.
I could be wrong. I need to probably change.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You guys go into the booth and sit. So Silas has a goblet of blood as he sits down next to you.
You scat, I want to go to the bar.
I'll follow Eek to the bar.
No. I got it. I don't know how much money I need.
I'll give her a gold back.
Okay. She'd hop to the bar. And she'd pull herself onto the stool.
Okay. So as you get yourself onto the stool, the barkeep kind of leans over towards you. Haven't seen your kind here ever. This is a first for me.
Me too.
You have a funny hat.
This is not a hat.
He kind
I
of
don't think
looks.
it's that funny. No, I'm here to buy a drink. And she'd slide him the gold piece.
1 gold piece.
Yes.
Are you buying for yourself or for your companions?
Oh, I have a friends over there. I mean, all of them are my friends. Maybe five drinks, please.
If you're buying for your one friend, I don't know if he would like it. And he points towards Silas.
Oh, yeah, they drank blood. So 3 drinks and 2 bloods. Do you have bloods?
I do have blood. Would you like ale or would you like wine or water?
Oh, Yuska doesn't let me drink alcohol.
So would you like watered wine?
Is that alcohol?
While this is happening, can I roll a perception check to see if anybody is taking notice to us or watching us?
Sure. With a 5, when you walked in, everyone kind of turned and looked. And as you guys walked towards the board, the table with the dwarf and the human kind of like looked over at you. But the other 3 just turned to their drinks very solemnly. Since then, it's hard to tell if they're watching. The barkeep is definitely looking past Ikanik at the four of you.
Okay.
1 gold piece is quite a bit for 4 glasses.
It's 5.
Oh.
Well, it's 3. With 2 bloods. I'll do the watered wine.
Hey, your friend did not pay, and he points at Silas.
Oh. Oh, well, I'm buying his drink.
Well, that's a fair bet then. And your gold piece will pay for his.
What's your dog's name?
They just speak of him as Hound.
Hello, Pound.
He telepathically speaks in Sylvan to you. Do you speak Sylvan?
Nope.
Okay. You hear some strange language in your head. He puts he takes the gold piece. Water? Are you sure?
I thought you said I could have the watered wine.
You want watered wine? And he pours just wine. And wine for your friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
Make an intimidation check, Silas.
Silas, I got you, bloods.
11. How'd you like to intimidate him?
Just to be quiet.
The stern look. Do not worry, friend, as long as you pay. I will
Do you
not
need
speak a word.
More money?
No, this is quite alright. He puts down 30 copper pieces in front of you. 30 copper. We don't deal with
That's-
silver here. Apologies.
That's a lot. Okay, she scoop it up with feathers.
And he gives you... Do you want 3 glasses of wine in 1 blood, or do you want 4 glasses of wine in 2 blood? Oh wait,
Well, I
3
have,
glasses of wine, 2 blood? Or 4
yeah,
glasses?
three and 2.
2 blood?
Yeah.
The ones that carry blood are much more noticeable as being of nicer goblet. And the ones that are wine are just like standard tankers that he filled with wine. You tell your friends that drink the blood, I do not want any trouble in my inn, please.
Okay. She'd carry the copper, and she'd leave the drinks, and she'd hop back to the table, and she'd just spill out the drinks.
Make
the copper onto the table.
Make an acrobatics check to see if you can carry 5 cups with your size.
She's not carrying the cups.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She's just bringing the copper back to the table.
Sure.
And she'd spill it onto the table, and then she'd go back to the bar.
Silas will walk up and grab the 2 blood cups.
Oh yeah, those are some for you, and Sylvia.
You said 30 copper because I guess I'm carrying all of her money.
Yeah, he gave her back 30 copper.
And then she would grab the wines, and she would lay one out for Yuska and Lucan, and then she'd go back to the bar. And she'd grab her wine, and then she'd go sit next to Yuska and Lucan. Don't worry, he says watered wine.
I slide the blood over to Silas. The one that was.
Okay. So as you have 2 blood cups in front of you.
Sorry, did Eek bring drinks or just her own?
She brought everyone drinks, and she brought herself.
She made
Her
many
own
trips.
Yusuke will pat her on the head and just down his tankard. In a gulp.
It is not very good wine, but it is alcohol.
Yusuke doesn't know what good wine is. So it works.
Lucan's gonna dip his one finger into it and suck on it first to make sure it's not blood. 'Cause I'm assuming it's red wine.
Yeah, it's red. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's gonna slowly drink it.
Iknik would dip her feather finger, into the drink, and lick it. And then she's just following what Lucan.
You got it? You down the wine?
No,
Oh,
she
okay.
just takes the lotion.
Gotcha. It's a cool glass, by the way.
Oh, thanks. It says, "Don't worry, be hot."
I thank you for the lick, Slash. So the 5 of you are sitting around this table, kind of away from the rest of this inn, as it's still not too busy. A little past midday. You have drinks in front of you.
So what do you guys want to talk about?
I want to talk about, I suppose, why you're all here. I know we very briefly touched on that topic, but I know why I'm here, and I'm not quite sure why Sanguis is here, and he's against everything.
Well, I know why I'm here, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to tell you guys or not yet.
I don't know why we are here.
I thought you knew why we were here.
All I know is that there's a blight. A blight that must be healed. But I don't know what, and I don't know where.
Well, I briefly covered why I'm here, and I'm hoping by the sounds of it, at least 3 of us have a noble cause. Sylvia, you might not want to tell us what you're doing, but is it a just cause? Is it something that
I would say
my
it's
deity
just.
would be proud of?
I would say it's just. I don't know much about your deity, but maybe they'd be proud.
Do you want this? She takes out the rolled up piece of paper about Razmiran that Lucan wrote for her.
No, you may keep it. I already know all of that. I did write it to myself.
She's giving it to Silas. Or Sylvia, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
I take it and I just like put it in my pocket for now and I'll
Yeah, so when you end up eventually reading it, it reads very much like a Jehovah Witness style like pamphlet of just like general, this is why you should be a lantern priest. It's basically what he's been like taught his whole life. And he's just spewing that information on a page because it's easier.
That's great. Wow, you guys are great conversation.
You're not too bad yourself.
I would like to find the bad people and take care of the bad people.
The dwarf approaches you.
Hello. Hello.
What is your kind
What do you
doing
want?
here? I want to know what you're doing in my bar. He looks at
What do you
Silas and
want?
Sylvia. We already give ourselves to your lord as tax. You already drain us of our blood. And now you want to sit where I sit. What more will you take from us?
We want no trouble.
I'm not sure your friend feels the same way. He just glares at Silas.
No quarrel.
You'll be drinking your goblet and you will leave then.
If that's just how you feel.
Can we stay?
You're a fine little bird. But your pale friend here is not welcome.
But they're our friends. They're okay.
They are not your friends when they take your kin and your wife, and they march her to be drained of blood and discarded.
She'd look at you, Scott.
I show him the fact that I'm ashen, and I say, I don't take any of your kind.
You have starved yourself.
Indeed, I have. Do you need me to roll deception for that?
No, he kind of he stares at you kind of slack jawed, like his eyes are wide. And he kind of backs up a bit. He walks off. As he walks off, he kind of walks off and sits down. He takes a drink from his ale and he looks over at the table. You can see the disgust as he stares over, but he's leaving you alone for now.
Why do people hate you guys? You guys are nice people.
Just because we are doesn't mean everybody else in this town is.
Well,
It seems like this is a bad place.
If you want to know where the bad people are,
yes.
you should go to the castle on the perch.
Okay. Yusuke, we're going to the castle.
No.
Look.
And he'll open up his eyes nice and big. No.
She pout.
We're not here to fight a city.
Even Sanguis will never be accepted because of their end belief.
Well, you know, some people need our help, I think. Still.
From what I can see, a lot of people could use some help here.
So we help them.
We can help
How
the
would
people,
you help?
but we should be careful.
Well, I would start helping them by talking to the people that wrote the stuff board. Over there? It's over there. There was something about poltergeist, and there was something about lies.
We're not helping the guy with the poltergeist.
Both of those problems will not help the common folk. They won't help the humans.
Oh.
Now, if we're able to start some way of spreading Razmir's light and showing them the opportunity to have hope again, perhaps then we might be able to spark some change.
But is Razmir's light the answer to all? I do not believe
he's
so.
brought me here for a reason.
If you get noticed, there's no guarantee that we can help you.
I appreciated your help from days before, but I can guarantee you both Razmir and his children will protect me. They've done it so far.
Children?
Yes.
Children in the concept.
Well, they're much more than a concept. They're real. I'm one of them. There are
I
dozens.
can't say that I know much about Razmir, but he's but a child to Amara. And if anything will heal whatever blight, whatever evil is in this land, then perhaps Amara...
Hrafer always makes his way into the chat somehow.
The blight of the land and the blight to the people are different, but perhaps the two of us working together with our own gods can fix both problems together.
Nature is a balance.
You guys are in the wrong.
It is
place.
like anything. If you look at the head, cut it, it might lead to different circumstances.
So we won't cut at the head. We'll cut the whole body in half.
That's pretty extreme.
You have to start somewhere.
That's fair.
Well, me and my little friend are a little low on coin, so perhaps the job for adventures would be a good starting spot for us.
I just brought back a lot of.
You know,
You
we're not
ready?
out in
Go ahead.
we're not out in the forest anymore. And if there's anything I know about at least humans, there's always a need for more coin. So if we plan on being in cities like this, we'll at least need to get a little bit.
Absolutely, I agree. The only way to get a church going is by paying people to believe and spread the word. As much as I don't like starting things that way, coin always turns heads. It
But
always
there's
gets people
already a
talking.
church here.
You did see the noose on the end of that church, right?
Yeah.
Whatever religion that is, it's not a good one.
And at the very least, land
What
is
is
always
your
expensive in a place like
religion?
this.
Also, do the news to others.
Whose?
Do the news to others.
As far as hang those that don't believe.
That's quite barbaric. Simply talk to them.
It is, but it is also a simple term.
Welcome to Noah Vaci.
Thanks.
But all places could use a nice grove. It would certainly brighten this place a little bit.
Yes.
And the great thing about nature is you don't have to believe in it. It just
Ziegler
is.
would lean over the table. Harvin's looking at them again.
Yeah, he's still looking. He holds up the jug. Refill?
Does anyone need a refill?
Yuska will, like, make a motion like a bigger tankard.
He gives you a thumbs up.
He
Silas
doesn't
will
drink.
walk up and fill my companions' tankards as they wish. And what is your quest on the wall?
A friend of mine, my brother, on the edges of the Brimeye Timbers, runs the logging camp here that helps supplies wood for our ships and our boats to be made, that we may go out and fish. He's in need of supplies, and I was just looking for a group of people to take these supplies to him, for the road is perilous. It would just be a delivery of supplies. You would be given a cart and oxen, which I would wish for in return, of course. But you deliver the supplies to my brother, and you return the cart and ox to me when you're done.
What is the day's journey?
It's a 2 days journey east of here. Be wary of the Brimeye Timbers, for if you go in too deep, those that live within the dark woods would come for you, which I'm sure that you know of. And I would say, given your expertise, I would give the group 100 gold pieces for this.
I will take the report drinks back to the table and start to discuss the term.
We got a gift subscriber bomb coming in from Blanton.
No, Tyler.
6 gifted
Tyler?
subs. 5 gifted subs from Blanton.
Nice, nice.
So this is gonna run for a sec. Thanks for the Christmas gifted subs, dude. Guys got emotes. Enjoy the emotes.
How the hell did I get a sub from this?
Oh, you're good, man. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas. Still
I've
going.
been around way too long, Tyler, for this stuff. All the new people should have.
So just deliver these supplies to my brother. His name is Tibor. I will draw you a map on how to get there from here. You'll take the northern gate. It's the quickest route. If you wish to accept this. Please also keep in mind that my brother will wish to sign for these supplies. I would hope to have some sort of assurance, because 100 gold is quite a bit, and the oxen that I'm also lending is not cheap.
How would the cat in party feel about this?
I feel like Silas should already know kind of my stance, so it's kind of like I don't want to get caught.
Very true, and this is non-Sanguis related.
For now.
Very true, but as currently standing, this is a strictly delivery to a second.
If you think it's safe, then I'll go with it.
I do feel it is safe as it is human, not Sanguis related. Or non-Sanguis related delivery.
Yuska will just crack a dirty bear smile and just say, well, we have to break roots somewhere.
Yes.
And just kind of laugh to himself, because he's lame.
Harvin walks over to the table. So would you be accepting this journey?
Yes.
So there will be 2 crates with supplies, and he hands Yuska, who's the closest, a sheet of parchment. And on the crates, there's on the parchment, there's an inventory list, and it says dried meats, cheeses, loaves of bread, casks of ale, flasks of oil, like a lot of simple stuff you'd find at a general store. Estrada, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. When you're ready, I would appreciate if you would leave maybe in the morning, or at least 2 days from now. I'd like to get the supplies to him quickly, if possible. But the 2 crates will be loaded onto a 2-wheeled cart pulled by an ox. Now this is important. Are you listening? This is very important. The ox's name is Vincent. He will only listen to the name Vincent when you try to corral him.
I can do it.
He's a very stubborn ox.
I can talk to Ox.
And I'm sure your friend said this, but I expect to see Vincent and the cart returned after delivery.
Don't worry, guys. I can do it.
Easy enough.
Also, Silas would like 3 vials of blood payable upon return.
Make a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage for taking the quest. That could be arranged, and I would assume if I'm providing these vials that I would expect this journey to be done quicker than I would normally expect, without trouble, without fault, without anything that would put my brother in harm's way.
I'd also like to tell him that we want this to be discreet, and no one knows that we're doing this for him.
Rest assured, my friend, that anything you do within the Howling Hounds is kept within the Howling Hounds. I do not wish to make any enemies on the outside of these walls. And I would much appreciate that when the taxation quarter comes again, that the 2 of you would have some sort of pool to remove the Wester family from any sort of requirement to be drained.
We can try our best.
He gives you a slight half bow. He walks over to the wall and he pulls off the note from the wall. He returns to you guys. Just give me a couple hours notice when you wish to depart and I will prepare Vincent in the wagons. But please, I would like to at least have you all disembark within 2 days. Food on the house, yes? Is anyone hungry? You can't just eat. You need to fill your stomachs. What does... I don't have seeds.
I don't eat seeds.
Oh, so you can eat bread and meat.
Yeah.
Oh, preferably whatever vegetables you have for me.
I like berries.
I'll see what I can do. I will bring you all food. And he looks over to Lucan. Wait, you're not a blood drinker. Would you like a meal?
I would, yes.
Only civilized eater.
Please, just give me time to prepare. And he rushes back into the kitchen.
Oh, wait.
Yes, oh, yes.
What is that dwarf's name?
You'd be wise not to speak to that dwarf. And he walks away.
Wait. I don't like this town.
You said it so loudly, though, that he gets up and he walks back over.
Hi.
Talking shit.
I don't speak sheep, but what is your name?
You would do well to remember the name of Baron.
Hello, Baron. I'm Eekaneek.
Bear or Baron?
There you go. Baron.
Like
Like
a
Baron
little child in... I watch Outlander. No? That's just...
Type it Oli.
Yeah. Appreciate the kind words, I suppose, from the little one, but as long as you sit at the table with those folk.
They're fine.
You have not been here long enough to know the pains that my family has faced.
You haven't been with them. I don't know your family, you're right.
Do you see the armor that he wears?
Yep.
Executioner.
Well, he did kill some creatures outside.
He looks over to Silas. Tell me, do you drain the blood? Or do you put them on the cart and send them north from Razmiran to Falkovnia, where the bodies are feasted upon by the ghouls that make up the city? The flesh eaters.
I have done what is necessary up until my point.
And you just walk in here and rebuke the cause.
You may think what you want.
Something is coming for you, my friend. The fires have been lit. All blood drinkers will perish.
I just...
What fires? What do you mean?
He gives you a smirk. You've not earned the trust of Baron. He walks off again. He sits down heavily.
You think it's possible he means the fires of Razmir? Or am I looking too much into this?
I don't think he refers to Razmir.
I believe he
Perhaps
is
he does.
referring to just the general destroying of the houses.
Well, perhaps after this delivery, we should investigate further into that.
I'd actually like to go over and talk to him by myself.
Okay.
I'd like to eavesdrop in on that if I can.
Okay. Give me a perception.
Cool.
Are you talking quietly, Sylvia?
Yeah.
21.
And I asked the
Oh, natural.
Damn.
Nice.
leave.
Sorry, say it
Talked
again.
about fire. Got my attention.
Fire bad.
Sorry, say what you were asking again, Sylvia.
I asked the other guy to leave.
He looks over to Baron. It is okay. Join him at the other table. He picks up his tankard and he picks up a plate, and the plate had some bread and cheeses on it. And he motions and he sits down on the other table. Even though they're like away from you, they still you get the sense that they're being very cautious of you as you sit with them. The 4 people that are sitting at the table close to you.
That's right. What are you trying to do? What do you mean about the flames? Are you willing to talk to me one-on-one?
I would like to ask you a question first.
Ask away.
Why are you ashen? I have never seen one as you. They always drink their fill, almost as if their gut would explode with blood. But you starved yourself. Why?
Let's just say it wasn't by choice, but I am very vengeful, and I seek retribution for what has happened to me.
Vengeance drives you. I'm sure you can see on my face that vengeance drives me as well.
I seek William Fernand.
The noble who hides in his castle.
Yes. What can you tell me about him?
I can tell you that he opens his window once a day, screams out to the burgomaster, orders for the day, and then closes his window and is not seen from again. But only that I would call them food is marched through his front gate. They do not march out. He's been holed up in his castle for many years now.
Do you know of any other way in or out?
The guard is quite heavy. Believe me, I have spent many days investigating this. I've learned that he has killed his wife and his daughters and his son. I have not learned why.
Do you know? Fair enough.
But I think that if we could figure this out together, maybe, how do you say, blackmail could be a very powerful tool for the rebellion.
Blackmail, you say? What kind of other information would you be able to provide?
More information requires something in return.
Such as?
Silver.
Why do you want the silver?
You can come into a large amount of silver. Let's say a spear tipped with silver is quite effective when facing certain enemies in Nevermore. As I'm sure someone of your birth will know.
Yes. Where do you think that I could acquire this silver around here?
I know that the captain of the guard collects silver and keeps it in the barracks, but that is very dangerous. I know of mines in the Raven's Roost, if you wish to spend time to mine them, but that is also extremely dangerous.
Would you be able to set up a distraction for the barracks so that I could slip in a note and steal it?
This is quite an ask for the distraction is not planned in a appropriate way, you will see my neck hanging from the tree.
I'll make sure no one knows that it was you who planned it.
Let's say that I am intrigued by this offer, but I don't know if I'm desperate enough yet to partake. Maybe in time.
In time? Well, I'm going away with my companions for a few days. We'll be back probably within a week. Find me, if you wish. And then I'll leave and go back to my companions.
He takes a drink, and as he does, he gives you like a nod. And when you stand up, the human that was sitting there stands back up and then walks back over and sits down again. A little closer this time, and they lean together and they start to whisper in really hushed tones. Lucan, you heard all this with a 21.
Awesome. That's good to know.
Silas, so silver doesn't affect Sanguis, but you would know that affects that. No, the potato internet. So Sylvia sits back down.
Do you sit back down and not say anything? Sylvia?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you sit down, like, and that's all you do is just sit down?
Yeah, I just come and sit down with you guys again.
At some point, Yuska is going to go to the bar, enamored with the idea of wine.
As you go out to the bar, Harvin Western walks back out, and he has 3 plates, and on the plates are different types of breads and cheeses. And on 2 of the plates, there's these like small pheasants, and on the 3rd plate is like this small little like a slab of meat, like a sirloin. I didn't want to feed her own kind.
You serve avies here?
Yeah.
She's a chicken, yeah?
No, I don't think she is.
Oh. Well,
It's not
I've never seen one before. I apologize. Do you need more wine?
Yes, another very large tankard, please.
He reaches under the bar and he pulls out a tankard about twice the size, and he fills it to the brim.
I'll wave at the hound and speak in Sylvan, just, hello, friend.
Telepathically, the hound says, "Greetings." In Sylvan. Trainer
I'll take
Gold
the
96, thank you for the follow.
Yuska will take the tankard back to the table.
Harvin follows you. He lays down the 2 pheasant dishes in front of Yuska and Lucan, and then he lays down the sirloin in front of Ikanik.
He gives her a steak?
Yeah. Like just a slab of meat.
The big old hunk of meat.
Is there utensils?
Oh, sorry. And he walks
No,
back.
no, I'm asking.
No, there's no utensils.
Okay, she'll take out her dagger.
Before she goes to town, I'll grab her arm. Just be like, no, we must give thanks for this.
Oh, yes.
Respect the nature that was taken.
Excuse me, Harvin.
Yes.
What animal is this from?
Oxen.
Okay.
He goes back behind the bar. So as the 5 of you are enjoying your meal, the windows outside, you can see the light slowly starting to come down a bit. You put it about late evening, like midday, late evening-ish. So before we end tonight, if you guys want to do like anything else before we stop for the night, since it's a little after 10. Is there anything else you guys would like to do or chat about?
Before we bed down for the night, Yuska's gonna get absolutely obliterated.
You could finish.
Never having wine before, he's enamored with it.
You didn't drink her drink. You can have that.
Maybe just tell Harbin that we'll be ready by daybreak.
Okay. So you guys want to leave at daybreak with the oxen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lucan's going to be staring at Sylvia for most of the meal. Since he managed to hear most of that conversation, he's waiting for her to decide to share that information with us.
Can we get a room here still?
Harbin looks over. Oh, you want a room?
Yep.
How many beds? 5?
4.
4?
How big are the beds?
We have smaller rooms, 3 beds per 1 room. We have other rooms larger, 2 beds per 1 room. And then we have a master suite, which is 1 bed, fireplace, and desk.
Yusuke, can I have the desk?
Oh, sure.
So to give you guys like a, this probably help. Chipink. Turn off the fog. These are the upstairs rooms in the Howling Hound. There's like a master bed. There's a little bit smaller one, and then there's like very small spaces. Little washroom and a little privy.
Lucan will ask for the smaller master bedroom. As much as the Sanguis might be allies right now, I still don't trust sleeping in a closed space with Silas. Sorry.
The smaller master bed is 1 gold. The larger is 2 gold.
I'm just gonna stay, instead of going to a room, I'm gonna stay within the bar area and kind of just keep to myself. Kind of like keeping watch so that nobody goes up there and disturbs them.
Sure.
I will take the far 3 bed.
The one with the
To
fireplace?
the straight down the hall.
This one like over here.
Yes.
7 copper.
Wherever Yusuke decides he can equal there.
The cheapest room. Because druids are broke.
7 copper.
Oh, is Ikanik and Yusra staying in the master?
No, upon arrival to that room with no desk, she doesn't say anything because she doesn't know what a desk is.
So Lucan would be in this room.
Yep.
And then all 3 of you will be in this room together.
Oh, we're all together.
Okay.
Is it 7 copper per person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does the door open inwards or into the hall?
It opens inwards.
Cool. When Lucan's ready to head off, he's going to move the desk in front of the door so that no one breaks in and attacks him in his sleep.
Smart. That's a good call. So whenever y'all are ready to head to bed, or if you'd like to chat before, we'll end tonight's game after you guys head to your rooms.
When Lucan is going to his room, Ikanik would make sure that they had a firm game plan of when they wake up, when they're gonna meet, and like whoever wakes up first is gonna make sure to meet the other person in the tavern below, like solid.
Lucan will wake up when Razmir's light and warmth blesses his face in the morning through the window. Or if someone knocks really loud on his door, whatever happens first.
Let's make sure.
At
Lucan
one
doesn't
point, Yusuke will also drunkenly try to commune for the duration of like a watch.
Okay.
as is his nightly ritual.
Yeah, we'll put you guys in your rooms.
Okay.
Silas, Ikanik, and Yusuke head to your beds on the far end. Lucan has the second master pushes the desk in front of it. Sylvia, as you sit there for the night and watch, do you want to try to kind of hide in the back, or do you want to just kind of let yourself be known that you're there? Or he might have froze.
I totally did.
Yeah, I think you froze.
Yep.
Oh no! Oh, there he is. There he is.
He's back. Oh, he's back.
Let the
It's a delay on this video.
I'm here. I'm here.
Good.
Let the barkeep know I'm there, but like don't make myself known to everybody else.
Okay. So throughout the night, you watch as about every hour to hour and a half, 3 humanoids in heavy cloaks. They walk in, they sit next to Bairn at the table, they whisper, and they push over a small pouch, very small pouch, leather bound, and they leave. And they're there for only like 2 minutes. About every hour, hour and a half, this happens over and over and over, from about 1 a.m. till first light. You see about 4 different groups walk in and push the pouches to Bairn. And as first light comes through your windows, this is where we stop for tonight's game.
Woo, no one died.
Yay!
Yay!
So the next game will be on December 30th at 7 p.m. Man, I hope not to like break anything, but I do hope you guys go see the Theater Infernalis.
We're going. Don't
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow, trainer. As well. Deserves a shout out. Always.
Oh yeah, I hit him. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you did it. I
yeah.
just...
So next game for this is Monday. We have a game that runs on Saturdays at 7:30. So Dying Embers, where the characters are level almost 12 now, is at 7 this Saturday. I might do like a little stream on Thursday, like a little campaign building stream, do something like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate all the big old sub bomb from Blanton, all the follows from Trainer, from Astrid, Estrada.
I mean, if Bland is still watching, just want to point out, Dying Embers is kind of lame because of all the Lawfare guys.
Definitely want to form speaker instead.
If you're curious about the world, check out the Erenel link there. And we have, if you want to catch up on past games, we put every game up on YouTube. YouTube's in the description below. So as I won't see you everyone till after, hope you have a awesome Christmas. Hope you open up some type of dice under your tree.
Yeah.
Bland.
My tree consists of shingles and
Shingles?
Shingles.
Hopefully my internet will be better next week.
Just like my perception rolls tonight, may all your rolls be nat 20s.
Oh. Yeah, not like my attack dice.
Silas is this cool, edgy badass, except he can't hit anything at
He
all.
did with that,
He's the
I
edgelord.
swing
that-
with 2 hands and miss everything.
He's the edgelord that talks in like one sentence, then he stops. He's like, "My name is Silas." He just pauses.
you got an outro, Bruce?
That was kind of my outro. So, thanks for all the subs and the follows. If you haven't checked us out on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, check out the world if you want to learn more about the world. We have our good buddy here, Silas, is playing one of our created subclasses, the Nevermore Knight, which is pretty awesome.
Video.
That is.
Give
But thanks.
that horsey.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good night and a Merry Christmas. Bye.
Night.
Love is the